because
I
he was
take that down to
obnoxious.
Washington, D.C.,
I'm just
and
trying
I
to.
don't
I've been
crumble
on
when Republicans
City
or
Hall.
Democrats put pressure on me.
I
haven't
worked.
done it on Beacon Hill,
I had
and
my
I
desk.
promise I
That's where
won't
my
do it in
desk was.
Washington,
My
D.C.
desk was at City Hall. My desk was at the State House. You know, and I've been yelled at by the mayor and the Senate president. He called me a savage, Billy Bulger. I've been elbowed by the House Speaker. I've been screamed at by various governors. But
Deval Patrick, didn't he threaten to conspire to kill you with Felon Finneran?
That's right, he did. He said they were going to put me in a... Well, he was there when Felon Finneran suggested that they put me in the trunk.
Yeah, he's part of the conspiracy.
Car. Yeah, he didn't stop it. But I was always taught... No, you know, and I thought about this. Did they tell me not to scream at the people who were screaming at me? No one ever had to tell me that because it was assumed that you knew. That was like basic protocol, the basic rules of quote unquote journalism. You know, somebody screams at you, you take it because you're a reporter. Even if you're a columnist, you're a reporter. But this guy, he's going around picking fights with the president of the United States. And right, how about the Antifa Bugle? Can they get a press pass now? Yeah, and when the Democrats, if they ever get back in the White House, hope they don't. How about somebody from how about Alex Jones? How about InfoWars getting a press pass to cover Barack Obama? Any of this stuff.
I like to eat.
Someone says, the play was Fiddler on the Roof, not Hamilton. Yeah, that's right, Fiddler on the Roof. Okay, so it's about Russian Jews. So I guess that's the thing too. So then it's even worse because they're making it out like this guy is endorsing the Holocaust or genocide when in fact he's just got a bad ice cube and he's a moonbat.
I mean, how drunk do you have to be to interrupt a play like that, though? Oh my God.
844-500 844-500-4242. Jay from Chelsea says, although Mittens did give you the low-digit plate, Mittens had nothing to do with it, Jay. He wasn't even in the room when I got that license plate. You know that. All right, 844-500-4242. We'll take your calls on this matter when we return. I'm Howie Carr.
Keep it here, chumps. More Howie Carr after this.
National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a handmade balsam fir wreath, a symbol of America's respect. Sponsor a veteran's wreath now. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org. When it comes to meat, quality matters. That's why I made the switch to ButcherBox. You may have had mail order food before and you thought it wasn't all that hot, but ButcherBox is something totally different. It's great. ButcherBox is delivered right to your door every month. Their meat is guaranteed to be humanely raised, no antibiotics or hormones ever. ButcherBox beef is grass-fed and grass-finished. Their chicken is organic and free-range, and their heritage-bred pork is far from the other white meat. They source their pork from pigs raised to keep in all their fat and flavor the way they're supposed to be. Not only is it healthful food, it's the best-tasting meat you've ever had. With cuts and quality that are impossible to find in stores, ButcherBox also comes at a competitive price. You can get a month's worth of delicious meat from ButcherBox for less than $6 per meal. You won't find a better deal on premium, high-quality meat like this anywhere else, and it's delivered to your house. And with free shipping, there's no reason not to bring premium beef and meat from ButcherBox to your family's dinner table. I want you to experience the ButcherBox difference like I did for yourself. To make it easier, they're offering my listeners $20 off plus free bacon for the life of your subscription when you sign up at butcherbox.com/Howie. That's butcherbox.com/Howie. butcherbox.com/Howie.
He's New England's talk radio king. He's Howie Carr.
The only French term I like is sans culotte, without trousers. I used to describe Ted Kennedy as sans culotte. Because after the O'Bar incident, when he was wandering around down on the beach, with his 20th Scotch tumbler of the day in his hand, stumbling around with he was just there, as the Michel Casson, Patch's date said, he was just there, without trousers, or as we say in Paris, sans culotte.
We've seen nothing that we can work, that I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign.
President Bush, this is your brain. This is your brain on Botox. Okay? That's the lesson of that one.
Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Where can you see these Guitarts? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these Guitarts home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Are you looking for a pre-owned car? Well, before you go to the dealership where you'll be pounced on by pushy salespeople, give the Car Guys a try. I'm Bill Papageorge, and my job is to make finding the perfect used car as easy as possible. That means I do all of the tough legwork for you. Once I figure out what you want out of a car, I go find it. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know what to look out for. I won't bring you a car unless I know it will meet or exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600.
Have you seen the Skillings & Sons fleet of trucks on the road? This is Howie Carr. Are you ready for better water pressure and water quality? Or is it time to put your irrigation system on your own well? Skillings & Sons has the fleet of trucks and expert technicians that get the job done right the first time. For over 40 years, Skillings & Sons have been the trusted water professionals. Learn more about water well drilling, water pressure, and water treatment services online at skillingsandsons.com. That's skillingsandsons.com.
My name is Rick Grandinetti. My company name is Robob LLC. We transform companies.
844-500-4242. The new luxurious Boll & Branch mattress keeps you cool, supported, and comfortable all night long. Try it risk-free for 100 nights. Plus, get $100 off your new mattress at bollandbranch.com with promo code Howie. That's spelled BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code Howie. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Should President Trump keep Mike Pence as his vice president for the 2020 campaign?
Yeah, there's a story in the New York Times. I don't think they're causing trouble. I think he really is asking people. What is Pence loyal? That's what he's asking people. So that's what the basis of the story is. Yeah, I think he should, definitely.
90% say yes.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason why he hasn't been loyal.
No,
considering he's the only one in the administration who can't get fired.
Yeah, they're suggesting that Nikki Haley would take his place. I like Nikki Haley, okay, but she was a Bush woman during the primary campaign in 2016. She was all in for Jeb, and I don't know. I'd rather keep Pence. I think Pence is the way to go.
Plus he's a talk radio guy,
Well, that goes without
saying. He has your loyalty.
He certainly does. The president's from Palm Beach, and the vice president is a talk radio guy. I mean, what more could one man ask for?
I still think that was one of the best things we ever came up with, though, was the introduction to his radio show, and then playing it for him every time we have him on.
I know. He remembers the show. He'll always remember being on this show, and he'll never forget. 844-500-4242. So, what do you think of Jim Acosta getting his press pass back? I thought it was a joke when they put in their brief that his Fifth Amendment rights had been violated, and then this silly judge, and the judge, by the way, is a Trump appointee, a guy named Tim Kelly, and all he said was, we have to work out you have to work out a a legitimate system for throwing people out. That's basically what he said.
I hope they're working overtime to get that system in place. Because there's a lot of people who could get kicked out. April Ryan, Brian Karam.
Yeah, I know. These people are not adding anything to the dialogue either. They're just haranguing the president of the United States, and they would never think of haranguing a Democrat. And they're not adding anything to the process. They're just trying to feather their own nests. And in a way, Jim Acosta, I know it's nice to be able to declare victory and all that, but as long as he's stuck in the White House, he ain't going to have his own show. Once he gets permanently thrown out, they're going to have to show the president by giving him a primetime show. Because, he can get as crappy ratings as all the rest of them, Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. I mean, is he any less talented than them? I think not. John, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, John.
Hi, Howie. How are you doing today?
Good.
I was taken aback by this whole due process thing as it relates to Acosta. This horse's ass gets to claim due process when just a few weeks ago everybody was looking away from the due process rights of one Brett Kavanaugh.
Right.
A guy who's a Boy Scout.
I know.
And these same people had no consideration for his due process rights, his actual real due process rights. Yeah.
Well, how about
had a privilege?
Well, John, how about this? Now that you mentioned Brett Kavanaugh, remember when Brett Kavanaugh was tired of being poked at and picked on by idiots like Sheldon Whitehouse, the senator from Rhode Island, about the flatulence jokes? And so finally said, okay, if you want to go back to flatulence jokes in, when I was 16, let's go for it. And everybody was saying, how dare he be rude to a sitting U.S. senator? And he was much more polite than Acosta was to the president of the United States. You're right. It's where's the difference here? Why didn't Brett Kavanaugh get to claim his due process rights? Why is it okay for Acosta to be rude to the president, but it's not okay for the latest Supreme Court justice to be not even rude, just to be curt and snappish, a little bit sharp with the sitting U.S. senator who's baiting him. The senator was baiting him. The senator was in the role of Jim Acosta with a Kavanaugh.
How many times do you think Jim Acosta has to apply Just for Men to his hair? Have you noticed that the shade of his hair is always changing a little bit? He's definitely gray.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's 100% gray, but now it looks like he's a little bit darker than usual.
Yeah. Yeah, 617 says, if I go to a baseball game, the back of my ticket says they can throw me out. That's an excellent point. Every sporting event ticket says that because they don't like my face. How is there not something like that for the press pass at the White House? An excellent observation. Let's see, we don't have any time. Well, I'll be back with Grace's news in a moment, and we'll take more calls on the Jim Acosta, his great victory. Boy, this is... I think this could be, the greatest victory for democracy since, I don't know, VJ Day. At least VE Day. I don't know, one of those. Wow, this is so great. This will assure that our democracy, our republic is safe for another 1,000 years, that Jim Acosta can come back in with his Grecian Formula 44 to the White House. I'm Howie Carr.
We here at Matthews Brothers honor traditions, embrace change, and prepare for tomorrow. Now, preparing for tomorrow doesn't just mean laying out clean underwear and hoping that your socks match for a change. Successful businesses prepare for tomorrow in two ways. They listen to their customers, and they pay attention to the market. Customers tell you what they want, the market tells you what they need. As Henry Ford supposedly said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. This year marks the completion of Scott Hawthorne's 33-year career at Matthews Brothers, the past 20 as president. During those years, Scott has had a vision for Matthews Brothers as a business that has respect respect for both its internal and external customers. A business that invests not only in tools and technology, but more importantly, in the people who make up the company. A business that every day is singularly focused on providing wow customer service with wicked awesome windows and doors. That was Scott's vision, and this is his legacy. As the baton is being passed with optimism and confidence in an even stronger tomorrow, in the distance we hear the echoes of Matthew's carols of yesterday.
Matthews Brothers, Matthews with one T. America's oldest window manufacturer are we.
And we will much about that be committed. So there's no real conflict. Michael Druniak, including Lincoln himself, Daniel Day-Lewis. Behind Monica Lewinsky, the one and only Trey Songz is here. But Allison Lundergan Grimes, Gina Day Jesus. When Gina Day Jesus, Tea Party challenger Matt Bivens. People don't want to have their Social Security overall. The Republican savior, Mark Rubio's big night in evolution and Galileo. I mean, this whole thing of Galileo. America's changed. Unless IT and Skillets, President Putin doing something similar back in, it won't change this fundamental fact about the GOP. Just how absurd these attacks is.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Christina from Chestnut Grove Design Group. They service all of New England, and Christina is an interior designer, and she can help you get your home ready to put on the market. Christina, what's your philosophy on paint colors when you're getting a home ready for sale?
The most important thing with paint colors is really to just neutralize any really bright or gaudy or very taste-specific types of paint colors that you might have in your home. It's best to just kind of keep those more warm, light, inviting, and again, neutral.
What do you tell people if they say, well, this is the way my house has always been, this is my own personal style?
Well, you know, I'm very upfront. I'll let them know that it might turn off some buyers and they might not get top dollar for their home if they're not going to be willing to be flexible and change some things to try and get the best sale.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
Howie Carr here. Have you looked in the mirror lately? When you see your smile, what do you think? If you're like most people, you probably wish you had whiter teeth or teeth that weren't crooked. And then you think fixing those problems will take years and will cost you more than you can afford and will likely be painful. Well, I've got good news for you. You can have a perfect smile in as few as just 3 visits to Dr. Houghton at Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. Using state-of-the-art cosmetic dentistry, Dr. Houghton will work with you to design the smile you want. In as little as 4 weeks from your initial visit, you'll have perfectly straight teeth and they'll shine a vibrant white. And your new perfect smile could cost you less than $100 a week. See, you can afford it. No pain, no more annoying white strips, no extractions or braces. Just a perfect smile that will make you want to look in the mirror more often. I have a perfect smile from Dr. Houghton, and now the mailroom manager does too. Now it's your turn. Go to perfectsmiles.com for more information. That's perfectsmiles.com.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
William Henry Harrison commissioned bottles of hard cider in the shape of log cabins as part of his presidential campaign. When James K. Polk was 17, he had surgery to remove gallstones without any anesthesia or antiseptic. Zachary Taylor died suddenly, and while the exact cause of his death is still disputed, some historians think it originated from eating cherries in iced milk. President Franklin Pierce, a Bowdoin guy, was arrested for running over an old woman with his horse. The charges were later dropped. Andrew Johnson was completely hammered at his vice presidential inauguration in 1865. Ulysses S. Grant once got a speeding ticket on his horse. He was fined $20. Rutherford B. Hayes signed the act that allowed women to plead cases before the Supreme Court, making it legal for women to practice in the court system. And they say Rutherford never did anything.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
Oh, okay. This is the last day to get the Veterans Day, Veterans Week special here for the VIP show experience for just $75. Come watch the Howie Carr Show live with me, Steve, and Grace. Eat some Kowloons, get autographed books and pictures with all of us. You can spend the whole 4 hours here with us. And for Veterans Day, Veterans Week only, get the Howie Carr VIP experience for just $75. This is a great Christmas present for the Howie Carr fan and your family. Go to HowieCarrShow.com and click store. This is the last day this is going to be available. We are moving on. We'll have other specials next week as we move into the holiday season. 508 says, seriously, Howie, are you really blonde? Check me out. Just tell me what you think. I didn't used to.
You're more of an icy blonde. We would call you a cool blonde in the hair salon.
Yeah, like an ash blonde.
Yeah.
I didn't used to be blonde, but, God moves in mysterious ways. And now I'm blonde.
Very few people who are blonde are naturally blonde.
When you were making your conversion, your career changes, and you were going to blonde, did you ever contemplate using Just for Men like Jim Acosta?
No, I never did. I have enough things to worry about every morning without worrying about applying the proper dye to keep my hair dark and worrying about, am I going to start letting the sides go a little bit like Mitt Romney?
Well, that just shows prestige. Yeah. I mean, you've got to have a little bit of gray.
No, I started going blonde when I was about 25.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot, but just, here and there.
Enough to know that it was coming.
Yeah. Definitely.
Enough to mentally prepare yourself.
There was a basketball player at Maryland when I was at UNC, when Maryland was in the ACC. Jim O'Brien was his name, and he started going blonde when he was 18 years old.
Wow!
I mean, by the time he was a senior, he was the same year as me. He was pretty much all gray. It was amazing.
Well, at least you still have all your hair.
I do. Thank you.
Good thing you never went bald or anything.
No, thank you, Dr. DeStefan.
You're genetically blessed.
Exactly. You got those good genes.
See, my older brother is, he's almost 30, and he has dark hair, but he has a lot of grays coming in. And it's annoying because my mom thinks it's from stress. So whenever he does something wrong, like he had parking tickets in the car, she says, don't say anything to him. He's very stressed out. I don't want him to go any more gray. And I'm like, Mom, I think that's an old wives' tale. I don't think your stress actually
no, it definitely does. There's a Robinson family story that my great uncle Quint, he was on a ship in the Pacific that got sunk.
Jaws?
No, he was on a ship in the Pacific that got sunk during World War II. And he had dark brown hair. And after the ordeal, I mean, he survived, but after the ordeal, he went gray.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see some scientific proof
Got a
of that.
full head of hair, and it's all gray. Blonde.
Speaking of stressed out, I want to talk about, this is not like a huge story, but I thought it was, oh, sorry, my mic there. I thought it was interesting. Stormy Daniels details Aer Lingus troubles after claiming airline lost her bags. She said, where the bleep is my luggage? And of course...
Did she say, do you know who I am?
All airline problems when they have to do with celebrities it's a big Twitter thing. Like everyone goes on Twitter to complain. It really irks me. Okay, I'm going to tell you why.
How did Donald Trump, how was he able to interfere in a foreign airline to lose her baggage?
He colluded.
Are you sure it
them.
wasn't Jacob Wohl?
When celebrities complain about this kind of stuff, and not that she's really a celebrity, that's kind of a generous term, but public figures, it just gets me really mad because I'm like, listen, airlines suck for everybody. And just because you have a check mark next to your Twitter doesn't mean you should take advantage of it and complain to the airline company.
I completely disagree.
It really bugs you that you don't have a check mark.
Yeah, that's what she's bugged about.
Which brings me to my next story. Grace Curley.
This is the second or third time you've mentioned this week.
What, the check mark?
Yes.
I just don't understand why I don't have one, I guess, is the real. It's like one of those questions. You know those questions that haunt you? How you like, who shot JFK? My question of my lifetime is, why don't I have a blue check mark?
What are your leading theories right now?
There's definitely maybe a little discrimination because I'm a conservative woman. They're also
not because you're West Asian.
That too. That's on the list.
You think it's a grand conspiracy against Grace Curley?
I don't know why though. I mean, I guess because maybe I haven't had someone pretending to be me. Which, trust me, if you want to pretend to be me, and so then I can get one, that's highly recommended.
I think we could use a few Grace Curley parody accounts.
But it's weird, Steve, because you'll agree with this. There are certain people who have check marks and they get them so quickly, and then there are other people who they just don't even respond to their emails.
I mean, VB got a check mark
really fast. He just joined it and got one. I'm like, what about me, y'all? Anyway, Hashtag verify her. In other news, Jenny O recalls 91,000 pounds of raw turkey amid salmonella outbreak.
Yum.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Why don't they just give it to Chipotle? I'm sure Chipotle can find something to do with it.
Salmonella has
I've been
been
in the
detected.
mood for a turkey taco for a long time.
Most people get sick
Let's
between
order out.
12 and 72 hours after coming in contact with salmonella bacteria. Not that you guys need to know this, because I'm sure you already do know, but most people get diarrhea, abdominal cramps, and a fever.
Yeah, we did not need to know that.
I just think the salmonella stuff happens all the time. And I'm wondering if this will really affect the turkey sales for Thanksgiving, because some people are going to eat
ground turkey, though.
Yeah. So this doesn't really mean much.
No. Oh, okay, good. Phew.
I mean, who's buying ground turkey? I know people swear.
I buy it all the time.
You do?
Yeah. No,
Wait,
I made
the
chili over the
difference?
weekend with ground turkey.
Well, I was going to say
it's just a little less fatty than ground beef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
a little less tasty.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You can get really good turkey chili.
When I make chili or meat sauce like that, I like to not only have ground beef, but I like to throw in sausage on top of it.
When was the last time you made chili?
You like stick your tongue out when you say sausage, like you're
sausage. Well, it's been a while, but if
exactly.
I did,
what's a while? Like 5-10 years?
No, it's probably like a year and a half. I think
The
I
only
made some
thing
last winter.
Howie, you and I are on this.
When I was by myself.
Yeah, you and Grace cook about the same amount.
Your cooking is putting cheese on tortilla chips and sticking them in the microwave for 15 seconds, and my cooking is.
But at least I don't put Velveeta cheese. That's good Monterey Jack from Market Basket.
Oh
that I
yeah,
put on there. It's
you're
good.
a cheese snob for sure.
You're on a solid streak of nachos for lunch for like what, 6-7 days?
Definitely. More than that.
But again, his genetics. I mean, look at his slim figure.
I'd rather have him eating nachos every day for lunch than the fish he used to microwave.
Yes, that's true. But now speaking of turkeys, guys, this is another story. Consumers can track their Thanksgiving turkey with new codes. They can figure out where it lived, how it lived, what's its name, what was its lifestyle.
What was the name of your turkey, Grace?
Last year?
No, this year.
Bert.
Bert?
Yeah, he was a big Burt Reynolds fan. And so naturally this year was super hard considering Bert died and he died in the same year.
I'm going to have a filet mignon for... Can I track my filet mignon?
That I do not know. But it's funny you should say that, because a lot of guys aren't that big on turkey, I've noticed. Like, my dad can only eat turkey on Thanksgiving and then he's done with it, and the next day my mom will want to use up the leftovers, and every year they get into this big fight because he doesn't really want a leftover turkey sandwich. He's like, I've had enough, I'll just have a ham sandwich.
See, I think turkey's overrated, yes, but it's better the day after. You do turkey gravy and rice. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it can be a little dry. I've never had like a super well-cooked turkey.
It was late in life when I realized that there isn't a law that says you have to have turkey on Thanksgiving. And
exactly.
Since I realized,
it's not like some moral force.
Since I realized that, I've never had turkey again.
Yeah.
We had it at your house on the first Thanksgiving of independent syndication.
That was before he realized
when we did a live show on the day of Thanksgiving.
Well, that was because I was just trying to show you that I wasn't a communist. Even though
so you admit to embracing communistic tendencies now?
Well, I mean, I don't like turkey. I don't hate turkey, but if I have a choice, I'll eat something else.
And the other thing is, sometimes turkey skin, like, it looks so good. You look at the turkey and you're like, oh, that skin looks amazing. It's not nearly as good as chicken skin. It's not nearly as salty or crispy or delicious. So I'm really coming around to Howie's point of view on this, and I'm starting to become less of a turkey fan.
You know, the turkey really got robbed when you think about it. It was so close to being the national bird for America, and now it ends up being just like feasted on ceremonially once a year.
Well, people are spending a lot of money now on designer turkeys. They're spending hundreds of dollars.
What's involved in a designer turkey?
And they can design clothes for you while you eat them. No, I actually have no idea. I think it's just like you pick out, where they're.
I tell you, I can't believe how many turkeys there are around in this area. When I was a kid, I lived in rural Massachusetts, and there were no turkeys.
Well, they were purposely reintroduced.
Now I live in the suburbs, and it's overrun.
This is the environmentalists.
They're
this is what they want.
turkeys in Dorchester.
The turkeys are basically pigeons.
And the turkeys in Dorchester, let me just tell you, they're tough. They don't mess
They're them
around.
Dorchester
they
turkeys.
They don't go gobble gobble gobble, but they go. They're very...
That's pretty good, Grace.
Yeah, well, I hear them all the time. Briefly, before we go to break, I want to actually, you know what? I want to save this for afterwards because I think we really need to deep dive into Kellyanne Conway's husband and what is going on with that. It's been a story for a long time. Everybody knows he's anti-Trump, but the more I think about it, the more bizarre it is to me that
he's turning into Bill Kristol now.
Yeah, and they live together. They live. I don't believe. I cannot believe that they are harmoniously living together unless she is also not a big fan of Trump behind the scenes, which is a possibility. But we'll discuss on the other side.
844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
He's the guru of graft. It's Howie Carr.
This half hour is brought to you by a new book from a Massachusetts native, The Electrician, From Altar Boy to Attic, Growing Up Irish Catholic in 1970s blue-collar Boston. Get The Electrician now at Amazon.com. Also available at ReadTheElectrician.com. There are so many reasons to be a grateful nation, and in large part, we have our military and our veterans to thank for our liberties and freedom. National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. You can join in the mission to remember our fallen heroes, honor those who currently serve and their families, and teach younger generations the value of freedom. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a fresh, handmade balsam fir wreath from Maine with a single red bow. The veterans' wreaths have become a gift of America's respect. Their circular wreath with 10 balsam bouquets is a catalyst for unity, healing, and an expression of gratitude. What started with America's most hallowed ground at Arlington National Cemetery has grown to ceremonies at close to 1,500 other participating locations across the country and overseas. Sponsor a veterans wreath today and show your appreciation. Visit www.wreathsacrossamerica.org.
This is the Howie Carr Show live from Chappaquiddick at the Party House. 25 years after Chappaquiddick 1969. On WHDH, News Talk 850.
Another bad song from 1969. 742-0850. We're going to take some calls this segment if you want to get on board. If you have any questions for John Farrar, the scuba diver who saw Mary Jo Kopechne's body underwater. The number again, 742-0850. We're going to start talking about the incident and everyone's perceptions. John, let me just get this straight. So now, as far as your belief is that while Ted Kennedy was walking past all these houses back towards the Party House where we're broadcasting from now, Mary Jo was still alive.
That is correct.
And she would have been alive probably for about an hour, you think?
I think that's most reasonable, and if an hour, if not longer, that's correct.
If not.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Christina from Chestnut Grove Design Group. They service all of New England, and Christina is an interior designer, and she can help you get your home ready to put on the market. Christina, if you had a limited budget, what rooms of the house would you tackle first so the seller could see the greatest return on their investment?
Buyers tend to make their decision in the first few seconds of being in a house. So it's important to make the foyer, the entrance, and just when they first step into the house, try to make that as inviting as possible if you can't do the big stuff.
How do you stay stylish but not too trendy?
Number one, declutter. Take away the clutter, let the home shine. Don't show the people your stuff. That's not what they're going to be buying. For a home buyer, they want to envision their things in their home, so they don't want to see all of your special mementos. When you're selling your house, less is more.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
Hi, folks. So many people have tried CBD and have not had the best results. Not because CBD doesn't work, but because the CBD companies are substandard. Well, here at Ancient Life Oil, there is no compromise in quality of product. Our product is non-GMO and all organic. And, of course, there's less than 0.003 THC. No psychoactive feelings. The oils we use are blended for maximum absorption. You ask me, what does CBD oil do for the body? Unfortunately, I can't say. It's the claim thing. Think about body super maintenance. Think about restoring your house. Not an add-on, just a restoration. Think about logging on to ancientlifeoil.com. No. You need to log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. I personally wouldn't be without my Ancient Life Oil, and neither should you. Test the waters and see how you feel. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Karen from Billerica, Massachusetts.
This is Adrian in Swanton, Vermont.
This is Miss Susan up in Warner, New Hampshire. And this is the Howie Carr Show.
Joining us for this ceremony is his wife, Maureen, who's become a great friend of my family, myself, and their 9 children, Anne, Jean, John, Catherine, Mary Claire, Paul, Matthew, Christopher, and Meg. You were very busy. Wow. Wow. I always knew I liked him. Also here.
He's talking about Antonin Scalia.
Praising Antonin Scalia's sex life.
He reminds me of Michael Scott. Like, there's a scene where they say, just don't say anything. Just stick with the script.
You're going to have to explain that one. Howie doesn't know who the hell Michael Scott is.
So from The Office, he can't help himself. Like, sometimes he'll be like, just don't say anything. And I feel like Trump's aides must feel the same way. Like, they must be like, just go out.
He's like
just
a
read it.
reverse Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, this is it. This is all you have to read. And then he just kind of looks at them and is like, I gotta go for it. And that's why people love him.
I don't think there was any problem there. You know what else he mentioned? He gave an award or a medal, whatever it was, to Elvis Presley.
Medal of Freedom.
And he pointed out that Elvis Presley, at the height of his career, got drafted into the Army, didn't bitch and moan, did his 2 years in Germany, and I thought that was good. I think about that sometimes when I hear an Elvis song.
And then he said Elvis has left the house.
Oh God. This half hour. Oh no, not this half hour. Oh, I picked up the wrong one. This segment is powered by Moricello Blackberry Liqueur. Whether you're mixing a dessert or a fine cocktail, Moricello is there for you. It is absolutely delicious. Go to hubbeverage.com to figure out where you can buy it. That's hubbeverage.com. Let's talk about Kellyanne Conway, okay? So her husband said that the Republican Party has become a personality cult under Trump. His name is George T. Conway III. And he's the husband of Kellyanne Conway, who's the White House counselor. And he said the Republican Party has become a personality cult under Trump, and that he would move to Australia rather than vote for the president again. I don't feel comfortable being a Republican anymore. I think the Republican Party, blah, 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 blah. Conway responded, no comment. I don't know. I just feel like they must have. Either she really doesn't like Trump, and she's the one who wrote that op-ed,
you had James Carville and Mary Madeline 20 years ago. You know, Carville worked for Clinton, and Mary Madeline was a Republican consultant.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever tried to leak
Opposites
stuff.
attract.
I don't think they ever tried to leak stuff on each other. Like, there was a story maybe 2 weeks ago in the Washington Post where Kellyanne Conway was trying to leak something about, sources in the White House say she's not pleased with George Conway's, tweets. And then she thought she was off the record, but she wasn't off the record. So they printed that she was basically trying to leak that to the Washington Post.
And Howie, I think you can admit that this is a different time. There was a time where I'm sure that you could go home and have dinner and it wouldn't suck up your entire life. But politics has become...
I don't know. I always kind of wondered about those two, Mary Madeline and James Carville.
In what sense?
Well, I mean, sentiments were running pretty high during the Lewinsky scandal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Trump is such a polarizing figure. I think there's got to be something. Either she's really mad at him, or she kind of supports his opinion on that.
I think she's really mad at him. I mean, Conway, he's a Beltway guy. He wants to be able to go hang out with Bill Kristol and still be accepted and still be, enjoyed in polite society.
I got to admit, too, whenever I see her on TV now, I think about her husband.
I
think everybody does, don't they? I mean, you think, I wonder what her husband thinks about this.
And I'm sorry, but I just have to say, if I was married to someone and I was bringing home a really good paycheck, which I'm sure Kellyanne Conway is, and that was my job every day and it was very stressful, I would say to my husband, you have every right to have an opinion, but if you don't go off that Twitter, it is over. I would be mad. Like, I'm busting my butt in that White House. I'm dealing with a million things. I don't need to deal with you. You can shut up and support me.
Yeah, you don't join the hashtag resistance.
Exactly.
Grace, how about this story? I don't think you did this one. Officials, this was in the Herald today.
Oh, come on, Grace. You missed another story.
Officials warn about dangers of driving baked because, of course, marijuana will soon be for sale across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So this woman, they had a Heidi King, deputy administrator of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Yeah.
She issued a warning. She said, "Don't let a friend drive baked." Was that really necessary? Did we need
friends
to know
don't
that?
let friends smoke weed and then get behind
drive baked?
Are we going to have MAVD now? Mothers Against Baked Driving?
I mean, I agree with you, Howie, where I don't really care per se. Like, I'm not a narc.
Well, you're going to care if someone crashes into you while you're driving.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't care that much, but it's also like, do we really want to make it this easy?
Yeah, there was a state cop out on the turnpike who didn't care much either until somebody who was leaving the medicinal marijuana emporium in Brookline Village hit him and killed him.
On the other hand, they're not going to have to lower the speed limit to 20 miles per hour because everyone's just going to be driving 15 or 20 anyways.
I also just want to
say... It was like last night driving home from Maine.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say, I don't want to get too into like inside politics with what's going on here at the Howie Carr Show with the relationships between me and Taylor, who filled in for me yesterday. But I will say... he seems to be sabotaging me now. He's working on the chump line like an hour before the show. He's like, just working on the chump line. He thinks he's going to take me down because everybody likes his chump lines more than me.
It was a great chump line yesterday. I actually got text today. Jay from Chelsea texted me today and was like, it was a really good chump line yesterday.
And look he's sitting back there. He's sitting back there smiling like he's not doing anything wrong. You're not coming for my job, Taylor. I don't care how good your chump lines are.
He can't hear you because my mic's on.
And my mom will text me. My mom will text me when he's stepping in, and she's like, "I really like that Taylor's voice."
Grace, we all understand that you're working with material. Some days you have better material to work with, whether it's my column.
No,
or
she
the
just
show,
doesn't. She just doesn't put on the good ones.
Steve came in today and goes. Steve came into the office today and comes in to my area and goes, "Grace, I want you to watch Taylor today and see how he cuts the chump line and try to learn something."
I don't
from
believe
him.
he said that.
I did.
He said it twice.
And it was funny both times.
Capitalism, creative destruction. The Howie Carr Show is capitalism. I'm Howie Carr.
Are you looking for a pre-owned car? Well, before you go to the dealership where you'll be pounced on by pushy salespeople, give the car guys a try. I'm Bill Papageorge, and my job is to make finding the perfect used car as easy as possible. That means I do all of the tough legwork for you. Once I figure out what you want out of a car, I go find it. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know what to look out for. I won't bring you a car unless I know it will meet or exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600.
Are you in the market to sell, buy, or rent a property on the Cape? Then you need to call Terry Riley with Robert Paul Properties, the official Cape Realtor of the Howie Carr Show. Terry Riley provides luxury service at every price. Call Terry now at 508-776-6182 or visit her at howiescaperealtor.com. Call Terry Riley at 508-776-6182 or go to howiescaperealtor.com. Experience the market-leading expertise of Robert Paul Properties today. howiescaperealtor.com.
Hey folks, guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea! We love this tea! Time after time, week after week, we love this tea! Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The police who investigate crime, and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
In your pre-law enforcement career as a drug dealer, Trooper, what was your profit margin on that 100-plus pounds of standard-grade weed that you personally sold?
I was making at least $200 a pound.
But weren't you making a lot more selling the Primo stuff, high bud, the so-called hydroponic cannabis?
A lot more, $600 or $700.
As a drug dealer, you yourself were doing a lot of drugs, right? In addition to smoking marijuana, how often?
Basically every day. I use Xanax, Wellbutrin, possibly Vicodin. The Xanax I would take for sleep. Wellbutrin I would take for, depression.
What about when the G-men ask you about the dates of certain crimes that you committed?
See, I'm afraid to actually state dates because I don't want to get perjurized for something I don't recall correctly.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show.
Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Where can you see these guitars? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these guitars home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
In summary, the president's overall health is excellent. Okay, with that, I'll take some questions.
How much weight have you suggested the president lose?
Can you assess the president's mental fitness for office?
Cholesterol over 220. Do you hope to get it under 200?
Are you ruling out things like early onset Alzheimer's? Are you looking at dementia-like symptoms?
Did he need to be sedated at all? Or he doesn't have heart disease, is that what you said?
The 25th Amendment, a lot of people in the country have been talking about it. Do you believe he is fit for duty?
Sometimes it sounds like he has the sniffles when he's talking. Do you have a life expectancy range for him based on his results? Is he limited to one scoop of ice cream now?
So is there anything you're keeping from us for privacy reasons? Are you confident of his prostate health?
I think a waist measurement for the president, his weight, I think he's at 239, right? It seems, I think it's just shy of obesity.
It's recommended that most baby boomers get screened for hepatitis C. Did you do a hep C test, or has he had one previously?
Some of the president's friends have told reporters in the past that they think he's a germaphobe, that he washes his hands obsessively. And have you seen any indication of that type of behavior?
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show. You can call him Fat Boy, just don't call him late for dinner. He's Howie Carr.
We will bring over your entire family from the third world Muslim hellhole that they live in so that they can have an all-expenses-paid, taxpayer-funded with open bar weekend at a nice hotel in Boston, get a nice sightseeing tour, maybe take them to Fenway Park for a game so they can see their savage Muslim terrorist kinsman sentenced to death. But the President of the United States of America can't be allowed to speak before Parliament because he's such a terrible barbarian. as opposed to the dictator of Red China. And I'm going to call it Red China. Since the Dems are down on Russia, we might as well go after all the communist dictatorships that are left, right? Russia isn't even a communist dictatorship. It's just authoritarian now, but let's call it Red China.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Ryan from Chestnut Grove Design Group out of Woburn, and they service all of New England. They help you get your home ready for sale. So, Ryan, in getting a home ready for sale, what is the number one item that you would tackle to increase value?
We would look at that front entryway first, and our goal would be to get that cleaned up and shrubs pruned, mulched, and that would be where we would start.
On average, how long does it take you to get a home ready for resale?
It usually takes us anywhere from 15 to 20 days to get a project put on the schedule, and then after that, once it's on the schedule, maybe a day or two to get it all cleaned up and ready to go. The way that I look at it is, you have a beautiful home, and if you had a Monet, why would you put a $10 frame around it? You never would do that. In landscaping, we have to look at it the same way.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about Angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking Angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
A victory to CNN and our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, saying that the White House must immediately restore Jim Acosta's hard pass that allows him access to the White House on a daily basis.
Oh, come on.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
Everybody, thanks for coming. I just want to say something very briefly, and that is I want to thank all of my colleagues in the press who supported us this week, and I want to thank the judge for the decision he made today, and let's go back to work. Okay, I'm going to throw up.
Who's your captain? Howie Carr.
If Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it. It's clear. It's clear.
Stacey Abrams' election is being stolen from her using what I think are insidious measures to disenfranchise certain groups of people.
I know Stacey well. She was one of my really strong surrogates in the campaign. If she'd had a fair election, she already would have won.
Is that really any different from what the Matt Gaetzes and Donald Trumps of the world are doing?
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
How does Trump get away with what looks to be coming at him perhaps in the next several days or weeks, which is indictments of his family members, indictments of people who will rat him out, like Roger Stone? He could rat him out. He's got all kinds of stuff, and I'm going back for decades. Joyce, not everybody, as you know from your experience, has an escape route. I mean, Saddam Hussein ended up hiding in the ground. He didn't have an escape route. Not all bad guys have this plan to get her out of town. And I'm thinking about Trump.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Chris Matthews is comparing Donald Trump to Saddam Hussein. I hope he's got an escape route from the booby hatch. Is that politically incorrect to call it a booby hatch now? It probably is. How about State Hospital for the Criminally Insane? How about that? All right, joining us now on the line is Joe DeGenova, the former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. We don't want to take our eye off the ball, another ball, which is the Russian collusion, delusion hoax. And it continues. It's the story that never ends. Joe DeGenova, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show. You there, Joe? Looks like we lost Joe. Okay, we'll try to get him again. As you may know, today the president has tweeted out that he is filled out all the he's answered all the written questions that the quote unquote special counsel Bob Mueller gave him. And he said he hasn't submitted them yet, but he has completed them. And he made reference at the White House today to the fact that, you have to be very careful because it's one of those things where they can ask you if it's was it raining or snowing yesterday, and if you say it was raining, they'll say no, it was mainly snowing. It didn't start raining till late in the day, so you committed perjury. So he didn't say it in quite those terms, but that's what he was getting at. So that's to be so a question we'll be asking Joe DeGenova when we get him back on the line, what these questions mean, and we also want to ask him about these alleged indictments that are coming down on Donald Trump Jr. Do we have him back, Joe? Okay, all right, Joe, are you there, Joe DeGenova?
I am. Can you hear me, Howie?
I can, Joe. So what's the story here with the president? Has he completed his written filings, his answers to the questions from the special counsel?
I don't know whether he has or not. I know one thing, that the questions were going to be extremely limited. They were going to be only about whatever happened prior to his installation as President of the United States. He was not going to answer any questions about firing Comey or firing Flynn or anybody else. And, and I don't even know that they've agreed to answer some of the questions about Russian collusion. I'm still waiting to find that out myself.
Yeah, so a texter points out the Democrats are using a tactic right out of Rules for Radicals by Alinsky. Accuse the other person of what you're guilty of. Yeah, I mean, aren't they? I mean, that's what's going on here. I mean, Hillary Clinton, I just saw in the Federalist today, and I hadn't thought of this before, but the whole Russian collusion myth was developed after it was clear that Hillary Clinton had violated all kinds of laws with her private email servers and destroying all these subpoenaed emails that she claimed were only about yoga and weddings. So they decided to create a non-scandal to kind of level the playing field. Isn't that what this amounts to?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what they did. And in fact, they thought about this very, very carefully about Trump's previous business dealings in Russia, all that, and they made this up. And remember, you never could have done this if you were not had control of the government and had people in the FBI, the CIA, and the Department of Justice who were on your side and who wanted to use the levers of government to undo an election. This never could have worked if it was simply a bunch of private citizens making accusations like this about a candidate. The reason it worked and got us into where we are now, besides Rod Rosenstein's corruption, political corruption, was that Hillary Clinton and the people in her campaign had contacts in all of those government agencies in the Obama administration, and they were able to use them to conspire with them to mount this crazy Russian collusion theory for which there is not one scintilla of evidence. So the fact that Mueller is still functioning and going after things that have absolutely nothing to do with collusion, but may have to do with Russian hacking, which has nothing to do with the president, is, to me, sick. Absolutely sick.
Why is Rosenstein still on the job, Joe? I thought he was going to be gone by now.
Well, I think he's still on the job because at this point, with Whitaker now having control of the supervision of the Mueller probe, and that's not going to change. He's going to be acting Attorney General for at least 7 months, and he's going to have control over that. He's not going to do anything to it. I'm not sure how long Rosenstein is necessary to be there. He was necessary before because he was extorting from the president the fear that he would do something if he were fired. Now, since he's not supervising the Mueller probe, there is no reason for him to be able to extort things from the president. And in fact, Whitaker is there as an enforcer for that very purpose. So, Rosenstein now is irrelevant.
But I mean, who wants an extortionist working for you in your office? Go
I
ahead.
can assure you, Howie, nobody wants him there. The question is, when is it politically feasible to get rid of him? And it might be better to get rid of him when you have 2 or 3 more senators in the United States Senate after January, after the new Congress comes in, so that you can more easily confirm an AG and a deputy AG. Because remember, you're going to have to confirm 2. You're going to have to confirm 2.
Now, the Moonbats are all texting me right now on here in the studio, and they're saying Trump Jr. is about to be indicted for treason because he took the meeting at Trump Tower in between the 2 meetings that Hillary Clinton's hireling Glenn Simpson took with the same Russians. So, but somehow it's a crime for Donald Trump to take the meeting, but not for Hillary Clinton's people.
All of the meetings that were held by all of the people, even those charged with crimes, were all perfectly legal, which is why it was so stupid for them to lie about when those meetings occurred or if they occurred. Every single meeting that anybody in the Trump campaign had with foreign officials, Russian officials, French officials, Polish officials, Cuban officials, all of those, either during the campaign or during transition, were perfectly legal meetings. So this nonsense about treason for Donald Trump Jr. is just utterly silly. Just silly.
What about this recusal that they're demanding for the new acting Attorney General, Matthew Whitaker? How come they never asked for recusal for, I don't know, like Rod Rosenstein, because he signed one of the last FISA warrant? The application for a warrant. I mean, how about a recusal for Rudy Contreras? Who's signing off on these warrants, and he's best buddies with Peter Strzok, the rabid anti-Trump crooked FBI agent. No recusals for any of those guys.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's no basis for a recusal based on some odd public comments, a few public comments here and there from someone when he wasn't in the department. Those are not disqualifying or recusal-based comments. The issue, for example, I thought Lindsey Graham's response the other day about could Whitaker be fair and impartial, and Lindsey Graham said, I think he can be as fair and impartial as Sally Yates, James Comey, and Loretta Lynch, and John Brennan and James Clapper. He could be as fair as they were. And, of course, that's the answer to this nonsense. This is gaming. This is all political gaming. And listen, the Democrats are good at this stuff. They're good at throwing mud. They're good at looking like they're serious about holding people to high ethical standards. That's why when a guy like Menendez, the recently reelected senator from New Jersey, who was having sex with underage prostitutes in the Dominican Republic, gets reelected by the people of New Jersey, here's the answer to that. Not only do they have corrupt politicians in New Jersey, they have corrupt voters in New Jersey.
Yeah, and not only in New Jersey. How about General Mike Flynn? He's coming up for sentencing. They postponed the sentencing 4 or 5 times. Are they going to postpone it again?
I have no idea, because Mueller has a problem, and the problem is the genesis of the case against Michael Flynn involves some pretty serious misconduct by the FBI and Sally Yates and other people. Now, Flynn chose not to challenge any of that and to plead guilty. I don't know. His lawyers made decisions that I don't understand, but I'm not his lawyer, so I don't know why they did it. But given what we know now, I don't know how in the world a judge is going to do anything other than give him a medal. First of all, he didn't even lie, and he pleaded guilty to it in order to save his family and their money and his son from being charged for what, I don't know. Nothing that General Flynn did was illegal. No matter how many Russian generals he met with or how many Russian ambassadors, that was all legal. It was all proper. Now, if he did some other things having to do with the Foreign Agents Registration Act, like Paul Manafort, and didn't register, and if he literally did things like that, that's another question. That has nothing to do with the campaign. That was stuff that was done before. But he purposely was made to plead guilty to giving false statements to the FBI about his conversations with the Russian ambassador. That was designed to make it look like it had something to do with Russian collusion, when in fact it had absolutely nothing to do with it. And here's the reason. They knew that he didn't say anything wrong to the Russian ambassador because they had the intercepts of his conversations with the Russian ambassador. Sally Yates knew that when she went to the White House to try and get him fired.
They should vacate his guilty plea. I mean, he shouldn't, he's like Papadopoulos. Why should he even do 2 weeks in prison? He didn't do anything,
I agree wholeheartly. I think the amount of government misconduct in both of these cases is so horrific and so infects the process by which they were convicted that it shocks the conscience. It should shock the conscience of the court and actually force the withdrawal. In other words, when you have a case that has so many corrupt elements to it in the bringing of it, courts have a duty on their own to say, you know what, I want to hold some hearings on all of this. I want to find out what really happened here. I would do it what they call sua sponte, on my own suggestion as the court. If I were the judge in both of these cases, I would say, you know what, folks, we're going to have some omnibus hearings.
They're swamp creatures, though. Joe DeGenova, we got a break, but I appreciate you being with us. The U.S. Attorney, happy Thanksgiving next week to Joe DeGenova.
And the same to you, Howie.
I'm Howie Carr.
You can call him Fat Boy, just don't call him late for dinner. It's Howie Carr.
There are so many reasons to be a grateful nation, and in large part, we have our military and our veterans to thank for our liberties and freedom. National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. You can join in the mission to remember our fallen heroes, honor those who currently serve and their families, and teach younger generations the value of freedom. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a fresh handmade balsam fir wreath from Maine with a single red bow. The veterans' wreaths have become a gift of America's respect. The circular wreath with 10 balsam bouquets is a catalyst for unity, healing, and an expression of gratitude. What started with America's most hallowed ground at Arlington National Cemetery has grown to ceremonies at close to 1,500 other participating locations across the country and overseas. Sponsor a Veterans Wreath today and show your appreciation. Visit www.wreathsacrossamerica.org.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
Although Thomas Jefferson and John Adams are recognized as founding fathers, neither of them attended the Constitutional Convention, and neither of them actually signed the document. George Washington and John Madison were the only presidents who signed the United States Constitution. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson once went to see William Shakespeare's home in 1786. They then ripped off a piece of Shakespeare's chair with a knife to take home as a memento. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson invented the swivel chair? James Madison was a little guy. He weighed under 100 pounds and was only 5'4". Little James. John Quincy Adams and Herbert Hoover both had pet alligators. Andrew Jackson once taught his parrot how to curse. It was so bad the parrot had to be removed from Jackson's funeral for swearing too much. Martin Van Buren was the first United States president to be born a citizen of the United States, but his first language was Dutch because he grew up in the Dutch part of New York called Kinderhook.
This is a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm with James Brock. He's a state licensed home inspector from Boston Home Inspectors. Why is it important to do a pre-inspection prior to selling a house?
It's important for the seller to have an idea of what's going on with the house prior to the home inspection so there are no surprises.
What are some of the biggest problems that you find that can be fixed easily?
Roof leaks, flashing leaks, some electrical wiring issues can be fixed quickly.
What's the biggest problem that's usually a surprise to a homeowner?
A lot of times in attics, when we go up to the attic, which is an area that a homeowner doesn't visit often, and we find mold on the back of the roof sheathing, that tends to be a surprise.
So, James Brock with Boston Home Inspectors, the best reason to have a pre-inspection is to prevent a nasty surprise, right?
Exactly.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
You've probably heard about all the great benefits of goat milk soap, but did you know some companies take shortcuts? At Old New England Soap, we make our organic goat's milk soap using 36% goat's milk. That's 17% more than most others. Our bars are larger, so they last longer, producing lots of lather packed with vitamins. And our soap is a natural moisturizer that smooths dry and damaged skin. Order online at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. oldnesoap.com.
Water-based soaps on supermarket shelves use harsh chemical acids to break down dead skin cells. And that's just not good for you. At Old New England Soap, our soaps are made without chemical ingredients, contain no alcohol or petroleum products, and use 85% organic materials and carry the USDA's organic certification. Try some today. Go to oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. oldnesoap.com.
This is Chris in Rochester, Mass.
This is Mark in Nashville, New Hampshire.
This is Lorna in Truxtown, Pennsylvania. And this is the Howie Carr Show.
2 years and counting. Actually, it's the investigation into the so-called Russian collusion started, I think, in July. Officially in July of 2016. It really started in April. So if you go back to April, that would be the 4th month. It's now the 7th month, 2 years later. So it's been more than 2.5 years. And we have yet to have a single scintilla of evidence of any collusion. But the investigation continues. That's why I want to keep on it, you know. It's one of these things that really bugs me that they're getting away with this, creating this complete distraction. It's rules for radicals. They did it. They're the ones who colluded with the Russians, and they're accusing the other guys of doing what they did. They paid Russians to come up with this phony baloney dossier, assuming that the spy actually spoke to Russians, which I'm really not totally convinced of. Anyway, the new luxurious Boll & Branch mattress keeps you cool, supported, and comfortable all night long. Try it risk-free for 100 nights. Get $100 off your new mattress at bollandbranch.com with promo code Howie. That's spelled BOLLANDBRANCH.com. bollandbranch.com, promo code Howie. The mattresses are made right here in the United States of America. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Well, it's a big story in the New York Times that President Trump has apparently been going around and asking people, advisors, friends, and so on, if they think that Mike Pence is loyal. So we're asking, should President Trump keep Mike Pence as vice president for the 2020 campaign?
Yes, he should.
90% say yes.
978 says, and after the lengthy Bill Clinton investigation, all they got him for was lying about a BJ. Lying under oath, it's called perjury. It's called obstruction of justice. He committed multiple crimes. He gave up his law license. He paid $850,000 to Paula Jones. I think it was a little more than lying about a BJ. Jonathan, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hi, Howie. So here's the scoop with Roddy, okay? I don't know why you guys didn't get this. Roddy goes to see Trump about the tapes. Next day, they're pals. Why? He flipped Roddy. And Roddy is being kept sheltering in place until he brings action against McCabe and all these guys.
I would love it if you were right, Jonathan, but what is your evidence that he flipped him? To flip someone, you need something to flip him with, right? You need something to knuckle him with. What did he have to knuckle him with?
How about tapes calling for a 25th Amendment and wearing a wire, Howard? How's that for something?
Well, I mean, but that's a firing offense, Jonathan. I mean, he knows he's going to get fired, isn't he? I mean, don't you need something better than that? I mean, he knows he's got one foot in the grave and another, politically speaking, and another foot on a banana peel. I'm not sure he's got that on him. I hope it's true though. Thanks for the call. We don't have time for another one. We'll be right back. We have John Heineracker from PowerlineBlog.com, and we'll take more of your calls. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr. For years, I've enjoyed my perfect smile from Dr. Houghton in Nashua, New Hampshire. Then a year ago, the mailroom manager was noticing that her bottom teeth were crowding and eventually went to our kid's orthodontist. He said she would have to wear braces for 2 years to correct the problem. Then she decided to call Perfect Smiles. With only 3 visits, her teeth were perfectly straight and are now whiter and brighter than ever. One of the great advantages of veneers is that it doesn't show the stains from coffee or red wine. So, if you are finding that your teeth are changing and you're ready for an instant makeover, do what I did over a decade ago and what the mailroom manager did 1 year ago. It is never too late to get that perfect smile. Go to perfectsmiles.com and see the before and after photos, or call Dr. Houghton today in Nashua, New Hampshire at 603-595-6699. That's 603-595-6699. Financing is available.
So the cloud hanging over Donald Trump as he becomes president of the United States, especially when it comes to foreign policy, has to do with Russia. Obviously, a lot of unanswered questions.
More now on the cloud that seems to be hanging over the Trump administration.
That cloud hanging over the administration, continued questions.
Because this has been the cloud hanging over the Trump administration.
There's more breaking news on the cloud of suspicion hanging over this White House.
The Russia cloud hanging over the Trump administration.
And the Russia cloud doesn't appear to be moving out of Washington.
Now to that other dark cloud hanging over the Trump administration, the Russia investigations.
The Russia probe is the dark cloud on the horizon.
If Bob Mueller and this cloud of the Russia investigation.
But with the dark cloud of the Russia investigation hanging over him.
And it's been this cloud that's been hanging over the presidency of Donald Trump.
But hanging over it all, the darkening cloud.
President Trump is really eager to get the cloud of Russia that's hanging over the White House away from him.
Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Where can you see these Guitarts? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these Guitarts home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Ew, yuck. They're unhealthy. Bugs. I hate bugs. Our home is clean, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. From contact, it kills bugs. Plus, Orange Guard kills hidden bugs and keeps new bugs away for weeks. The ingredients in Orange Guard are on the FDA generally regarded as safe list. So Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com and Ace Hardware.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
James Garfield was ambidextrous, and he could write Greek with his right hand while simultaneously writing Latin with his left. They don't teach that at Deerfield. Grover Cleveland allegedly date raped a woman, got her pregnant, forced her to put the child in an orphanage, and then committed her to an insane asylum. That's like some Clinton stuff. Benjamin Harrison was nicknamed Kid Gloves because he always wore goatskin gloves, allegedly to protect himself from infection. Grover Cleveland is the only president to have ever served as a hangman. He carried out multiple executions. William McKinley's wife suffered from epileptic seizures, and when she had seizures during public events, McKinley would gently place his handkerchief over her face and carry on.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. Oregon launches investigation into 2 people who submitted slew of late ballots. There's a lot of this going around, isn't there? Oregon Secretary of State Dennis Richardson has launched an investigation into 2 individuals who turned in nearly 100 ballots the day after the election. Mr. Richardson, a Republican, said county officials informed him of the 97 late ballots, which included, well, in various counties. The Secretary of State has opened an investigation to determine the facts and review the evidence to ensure all parties receive due process. Due process. All right. 844-500-4242. Joining us now on the line is John Heineracher from PowerlineBlog.com. PowerlineBlog.com. It's one of the great websites. I read it all the time. And he fills in occasionally on Laura Ingram's radio show, which is going to come to an end in December. She's going to concentrate on a podcast, I guess. But, John, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show.
Hi, Howie.
Are you surprised by this decision by a federal judge today to give Jim Acosta back his press pass at the White House?
Not really. I think it's the path of least resistance. This is a judge that was appointed by Trump like a year ago or so.
Right.
And basically what he did is he granted a motion for a temporary restraining order, and he did it on due process grounds. What he said is, well, the White House doesn't really have a clear set of standards as to when they will and won't give people press passes. And so, Acosta may well be able to show that due process wasn't followed in making this decision. And so I'm going to reinstate him, and then we'll move on and have a hearing on the merits. And I'll decide whether due process is violated. And I think it's kind of a nothing deal. I mean, Acosta and CNN can trumpet it as a great victory.
Oh, yeah.
But what Trump said and what Sarah Sanders said is correct. It's his press conference. Nobody goes to a press conference to hear Jim Acosta harangue the president. And Trump doesn't have to call on him. Trump can just ignore him. And then Trump says, we're going to put together some rules and regulations, and if people violate them, we'll throw them out. So, I mean, it's kind of, at the end of the day, I think not a big deal.
Yeah, the thing is, John, if you and I decided to go to a football game this weekend, we bought tickets, you know what it would say on the back of the tickets, right? Holder of the ticket has to observe all the rules of the National Football League and the Minnesota Vikings or whatever team it is, right? But the same rules don't apply.
There was a news story in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune like yesterday about a guy who was banned from Target Field in Minneapolis, banned by the Minnesota Twins for too aggressively chasing foul balls, right? So you're absolutely right. I mean, it's Trump's White House. It's not Jim Acosta's White House. And he ought to have the right to allow in or not. He doesn't have to have press conferences.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And they banned people at Fenway Park for heckling too vociferously. That's the way, and they do that everywhere, actually, come to think of it. Right. Listen, so what do you make of this? Again, you're a lawyer, you went to Harvard Law School. What do you make of this recount down in Florida where they're trying to divine what the voters meant, but when they overvoted or undervoted? I mean, this is so I don't think it's going to change the results of the election, but this is not a good precedent, is it? To be divining what people meant to do. I mean, all we can go on is what they did.
I think that's exactly right. Undervotes, overvotes. Every 2 years, there are some people on the ballot and that I just leave blank because I don't know anything about it. Like county soil commissioners. I keep telling myself someday I should read up on county soil commissioners and what the heck they do, right? But I never remember to do it, so I always leave that blank on my ballot because I don't know. And everybody does that. I mean, the fact that somebody voted for governor but didn't vote for senator, so what? If he didn't vote, he didn't vote. And so I think the whole concept is kind of ludicrous. You know, we lived through this in 2000 with Gore versus Bush, and I think you're right, Howie, that the vote margins here are not all that close. And I don't think at the end of the day this is going to come to anything. But this whole process where the election day is done, the polls have closed, it's all electronic, you know, all these votes have been counted, and all of a sudden they start saying, oh, we found 5,000 more votes.
Right.
Well, what do you mean you found 5,000 more? What does that even mean? You know,
I know. And look where they're turning up. I mean, they turned up at the Fort Lauderdale airport. There was a box in a public school somewhere. I mean, what is going on here? You know, how are we supposed to have any faith?
There was a box in the trunk of somebody's car, that Al Franken election that led to the big recount, you know. And so these weaknesses in the voting system, you know, nobody takes ballot security seriously, Howie. That's part of the problem. Everything we do requires requires a picture ID, right? Everything we do, people are taking close track. You know, you go to the grocery store, you spend $11, you put it on a credit card. These things are all tracked. The one thing where no one pays any attention to security or to proper practice is voting. And when we have a close election, then all this stuff starts coming to light. And you know, one of the things that came to light, I wrote about this on Powerline. You know, the Democrats altered an official Florida government form to change the date when you could send in an affidavit to try to cure an invalid signature on a write-in, on an absentee ballot, you know, a mail-in ballot. And they changed the date on it, and they went out soliciting people to send these things in 3 days after the legal deadline. And then they were going to have all these votes and say, oh, we have to count every vote. You know, and this is madness, and it's going to continue until the rest of us get serious about ballot security.
Yeah, and 65 out of the 67 counties in Florida got their ballots in under the law, under the rules and regulations that are established by the legislature, and including the hurricane-hit counties in the Panhandle, which, by the way, were Republican. And guess who Senator Bill Nelson is suing now? Those counties that got their ballots in on time because they're Republican counties. It's such a scam. And then you have in Georgia, John Heineracker, you have Stacey Abrams. She's down 55,000 votes, which in a state which is a much smaller state than Florida. You know, so she's much further behind than Andrew Gillum or Bill Nelson, and she's flat out claiming the election was stolen from her. Talk about irresponsible.
These are not close margins. You know, in 2000, the thing that was extraordinary is that the margin was so thin. We were talking about a few hundred votes. That's like flipping a coin and having it land on edge. I mean, it's just a frickin' tie. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
if you lose by 55,000 votes or 12,000 votes, like Bill Nelson in Florida, that's not a tie. I mean, that's a lot of votes. And so, you know, those results are not going to be overturned. And I think in part it's just the process that the Democrats endlessly engage in to try to keep their base in a state of hysteria.
Yeah, you know, it's weird, though, that you know, you have Hillary Clinton, who was, you know, bemoaning the fact that Donald Trump wouldn't accept that he was defeated 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and now she's saying that the election has been stolen from Stacey Abrams. Of course, she said the election was stolen from her, too, basically. So it's just amazing that they can't give it up. I guess this makes you know, this will make Stacey Abrams a martyr for the next election cycle. You know, she'll probably make a lot of money off of this. I mean, Jill Stein did well off the recounts in 2016, right? I mean, it does keep the base.
One thing about the Abrams race too, Howie, is I don't understand exactly how it works, but if she can make up a smaller number of votes, I'm not sure exactly what it is, she can force a runoff election.
Right, if she can get them under 50%.
And I think, yeah, her real goal is to force a runoff, and then the Democrats will come in and they'll spend $1 billion, you know, on the runoff election and try to win it the second time around. I think that's the strategy there.
Yeah, and then one other thing I'll ask you about, John. You've heard these sound cuts from Kamala Harris, the senator from California, one of the front runners for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020. She's asking the ICE commissioner if there are perceptions of racism in enforcing the law, in enforcing the law. as if somehow he's got something to apologize for just, observing the statutes on the books and trying to enforce them.
It's even worse than that, Howie. I wrote about this on Powerline. I mean, she starts out her questioning by drawing an equivalence between ICE and the Ku Klux Klan. And the witness, the nominee, this is his confirmation hearing. What's his name? Ronald Vitiello, I think it is shocked at that, and he says, "Oh, I reject that analogy. ICE has nothing in common with the Ku Klux Klan." And then she kind of segues into a little bit different question, or a very different question, which is, this perception of racism or whatever it might be. Yeah, but basically, she's out there in public in a Senate committee hearing, equating the Ku Klux Klan and ICE. And apparently, she's running for president, right? So apparently, this is the kind of thing that the Democratic Party's base likes to hear.
Right. Yeah, I saw John Kerry is promoting his lousy book in Great Britain this week, and he said that the Democrats need a serious person to run for president. I'm drawing a blank on any serious Democrats that are in the race, John.
Ocasio-Cortez, she's too young. She doesn't qualify. You're right, Howie. I mean, it's a motley crew.
Yeah, they just I don't know. There's not even one Zell Miller out there, or Joe Lieberman, or a Daniel Patrick Moynihan. I mean, those people would be booed out of the party if they were still around today.
They have all died or switched parties. There's maybe a handful, Howie. I'll tell you about one. I don't know where the Democrats found this guy. They ran him for governor of South Dakota against Kristi Noem, congresswoman, very popular. They got this guy. He was a top-notch rodeo rider until he was paralyzed or seriously injured in an accident, so that now he's in a wheelchair, and he's a major pro-life and pro-gun guy, and the Democrats ran him for governor of South Dakota. So that's what you want, Howie. You want to live in a state where that's the guy the Democrats nominate.
That way I could have someone to vote for, because I undervoted in the governor's race in Massachusetts. I didn't like either of them. I'd hate to see someone going through and trying to divine which one I was for. No, I did it on purpose. I didn't vote for anybody for governor, and I dare say most of the people in Florida felt the same way when they didn't vote for governor or senator. But
and what you said is right, Howie. Either they voted or they didn't.
Yeah.
If they didn't vote, they didn't vote. I mean, you can't go back and try to reconstruct how a person would have voted if he had.
And even if you could find the person and ask him, how would you know he was telling the truth?
Well, it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too
exactly.
late. The election's over. He didn't vote.
I know. I'm glad. I just hope they don't turn these elections around any more than they've already turned them around, those congressional races in California and New Mexico. But I hope they don't lose these fights in Georgia and Florida. Otherwise, we won't be laughing quite so hard. All right, John Heinderecker.
I don't think that's much of a danger, Howie. I don't think so.
No, I don't either, but it's exasperating. I hope it's over by Thanksgiving. Hey, thank you, John Heinderecker, and check out his writings and his colleagues' writings at powerlineblog.com, powerlineblog.com. I'm Howie Carr.
Don't touch that dial. Howie Carr will be back after this.
National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a handmade balsam fir wreath, a symbol of America's respect. Sponsor a veteran's wreath now. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org.
Hey, Toby Leary here from Cape Gunworks. While you visit Cape Cod, check something off your bucket list and come to Cape Gunworks Indoor Shooting Range for an amazing experience. We are open 7 days per week and have a huge 20,000 square foot facility with a range, training center, and pro shop. When you're down on the Cape, visit Cape Gunworks on Airport Road in Hyannis. Or on the web, capegunworks.com. Cape Gunworks, the official gun store of the Howie Carr Show.
Growing up Irish Catholic in 1970s blue-collar Boston was a far cry from the way it is now. Read The Electrician from Boston native Andrew Winslow as he journeys back to his world of growing up surrounded by relatives of World Wars I and II, explaining the social and political dynamic that affected the way people thought and why. Even riding skateboards without helmets. What a time to be a kid in 1970s blue-collar Boston. Read The Electrician by Andrew Winslow. Available now on Amazon and at readtheelectrician.com.
That plan is a campaign to make America white again.
And is literally a love letter to white supremacists.
Effort to keep America white again.
When someone uses the phrase change migration, it is intentional, literally trying to demonize families and make it a racist slur. It is not right.
African Americans believe that they migrated to America in chains. And when you speak about chain migration, it hurts them personally.
The great divider, who injects hatred between groups in America.
To continue to push extremist views on immigration.
Really a shameful practice of holding 800,000 children hostage.
We continue to hold each of those programs hostage.
And says whether you should hold these kids hostage.
When they took the Dreamers hostage, you knew you were going to have to pay a ransom.
She should have been in the same way, as opposed to just doing her job. Well, we know what happened in Europe when people just did their job.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
The Fast Start Diet is available on Amazon or faststartdiet.com. Now's the perfect time to shed a few pounds as we head into the Christmas season. Use promo code Howie, get $10 off. You'll also get Lipo3 Appetite Suppressant Spray, a $29 value, free with your order. The mailroom manager loves the Fast Start Diet, and so will you. FastStartDiet.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out! That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jeff in Woodstock, Connecticut.
This is Laura Benner in South Burlington, Vermont.
This is Jimmy Mack in Falmouth, Massachusetts, and this is The Howie Carr Show.
This is the last day to get our special on the Howie Carr Show VIP experience for Veterans Day, Veterans Week. We've been offering the VIP experience for just $75. Come watch the Howie Carr Show live with me, Steve, and Grace, all 4 hours. Eat some Kowloons, good Chinese food, get autographed books by me and pictures with all of us. For Veterans Day, Veterans Week only, get the Howie Carr VIP experience for just $75. This is a great Christmas present for the Howie Carr Show fan and your family. Go to HowieCarrShow.com and click store. HowieCarrShow.com and click store for the special deal. It ends tonight. Bill, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm coming. I was having a snack.
Okay. We'll come back to you, Bill. Ray, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Ray.
Hi, Howie. I just want to say, I think this whole undervoting thing, if I choose to blank something, that's really my vote.
Right. Exactly. That's the way I voted. I blanked a lot of votes. Anyone running unopposed, Ray, I blank them. You know?
And the real issue, I mean, what they need to do is just give us the option to vote for none of the above. But I don't think they'll ever do that because I'm sure that they're really afraid that none of the above is going to get like 70% of the vote.
I think blanking makes its own perfect statement. You know, I think a lot of people who are deciding whether they're going to run for state legislator or state senator, you know, if you see over 35% of the votes are blanks, you know, you think I might have a chance at this. You know, I think exactly. The blank delivers the same message as none of the above.
Right, and by not counting that vote, you want to talk about denying somebody their due process?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I mean, how can you look into someone's mind under any circumstances, but especially when it's you don't know who cast this vote, right? You're just trying to look at this ballot and decide whether someone really did mean to vote or and then the other thing, the overvoting. So if you voted for both of them, how can you count that vote? What he colored it in darker for Gillum than he did for DeSantis. So we're going to count the vote for. It makes no sense. It's a recipe for disaster and fraud.
Mm-hmm. I might need the voice changer for this, but I can't even understand what my wife is thinking a lot of times. How is somebody going to understand what somebody's thinking when they're just looking at a piece of paper?
If you had a twin, Ray, you wouldn't know what your twin was thinking, even if it was an identical twin, right? I mean, nobody knows. Right. You can't see in anyone else's mind. This is preposterous. Exactly. It's the rules are the rules. You just like when the time expires in an athletic event, you can't keep playing if one team is ahead. It's over. Right. You win or you lose, and then you move on. Thanks for the call, Ray. 844-500-4242. Bill, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bill.
I have to apologize. You caught me eating a nice high-fat snack, hot dogs and cheddar cheese. And, all right, this whole thing is rotten. The Communist Party, which used to be the Democrat Party, is stealing this election by voter fraud, which is, as you covered yesterday up here in Maine with this phony ranked choice voting, and down in Florida with those foolish chads. Somebody has got to get on board and say, stop it. And I don't know who's going to do it.
Yeah, I know. Well, elections are administered by the states, so you have 50 different states are going to have to come to their own conclusions. And some of these states, like California, they want this fraud to go on. Apparently, look at all the Republican seats they've stolen in the aftermath of the election. I mean, they've won 5 or 6 seats in California alone since the election. With these, I don't know if they're provisional ballots or mail-in ballots, but they've got to crack down. This is a terrible recipe for fraud. Some things shouldn't be that easy to do, and voting, I think, is one of them. Because the easier you make it, the easier it's going to be to commit massive fraud. I'm Howie Carr.
Is your jewelry safe in your top drawer? Are you comfortable with your coin collection sitting on the shelf? Are your treasured family photos safe from fire? Liberty Safes are known as the best gun safes in the USA, but they also make home safes to keep your valuables protected. No matter what you consider most valuable, Liberty Safes has the right safe and style for you. Visit one of 2 exclusive Liberty Safe dealers in New Hampshire, Dependable Lock Service in Nashua, or Liberty Safe of New Hampshire in Northampton, or online at libertysafenewhampshire.com.
Are you looking for a pre-owned car? Well, before you go to the dealership where you'll be pounced on by pushy salespeople, give the Car Guys a try. I'm Bill Papageorge, and my job is to make finding the perfect used car as easy as possible. That means I do all of the tough legwork for you. Once I figure out what you want out of a car, I go find it. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know what to look out for. I won't bring you a car unless I know it will meet or exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600. So,
know you love talk radio. Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Harry, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Harry.
Howie Carr is a true New England powerhouse personality.
People trust Howie.
People believe Howie.
The Howie Carr Show is good for our radio stations because it's good for our listeners.
He is a brilliant man.
He drives your business through the roof. He tells it like it is.
I know. Did you see the latest thing ISIS is doing? They're drowning people in cages now.
Howie Carr is a guy that connects with the working man.
The mystique about Howie is that he's the real deal. He's not a talk show host that's blown in from somewhere else, or one of these journeyman talk show hosts from another state. He's New England. He's from Maine, but essentially he grew up in Massachusetts. He went places where people were afraid to go. He was very critical of the Kennedys long before it was acceptable. He was exposing Beacon Hill fraud long before you could get away with that.
In the mid-'90s, he owned the Boston market.
Listening to the Howie Carr Show.
Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Where can you see these guitars? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these guitars home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Are you looking for a pre-owned car? Well, before you go to the dealership where you'll be pounced on by pushy salespeople, give the car guys a try. I'm Bill Papageorge, and my job is to make finding the perfect used car as easy as possible. That means I do all of the tough legwork for you. Once I figure out what you want out of a car, I go find it. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know what to look out for. I won't bring you a car unless I know it will meet or exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600.
Have you seen the Skillings & Sons fleet of trucks on the road? This is Howie Carr. Are you ready for better water pressure and water quality? Or is it time to put your irrigation system on your own well? Skillings & Sons has the fleet of trucks and expert technicians that get the job done right the first time. For over 40 years, Skillings & Sons have been the trusted water professionals. Learn more about water well drilling, water pressure, and water treatment services online at skillingsandsons.com. That's skillingsandsons.com.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
We are all going to die.
And we all joke about him destroying the world, but this could be it.
That means record heat, more drought in some places. We could see the seas continue to rise.
Their kids will have worse asthma,
torrential rains and floods at other places. We could see flooding in major cities.
They will have a harder time having economic growth.
Sea level rising, drowning coastal areas. Deadlier heat waves would be more
abundant with droughts and floods.
Coal sludge back into rivers and lakes. You see droughts, wildfires.
How tens of thousands of people die annually.
Mass extinction in the natural world.
This was a fault on the part of Donald Trump against humanity.
Sea level rise is happening. That's a scientific fact.
And this man is wrecking the planet.
Low-lying countries such as the Marshall Islands would disappear entirely. The world will be a mess.
So Donald Trump may have doomed the planet.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show. He's New England's talk radio king. He's Howie Carr.
The only French term I like is sans culotte, without trousers. I used to describe Ted Kennedy as sans culotte. Because after the O'Bar incident, when he was wandering around down on the beach, with his 20th Scotch tumbler of the day in his hand, stumbling around with he was just there, as the Michel Casson, Patch's date said, he was just there, without trousers, or as we say in Paris, sans culotte.
We've seen nothing that we can work. But I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign.
President Bush, this is your brain. This is your brain on Botox, okay? That's the lesson of that one.
Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Where can you see these Guitarts? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these Guitarts home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass. on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Howie Carr here. Have you looked in the mirror lately? When you see your smile, what do you think? If you're like most people, you probably wish you had whiter teeth or teeth that weren't crooked. And then you think fixing those problems will take years and will cost you more than you can afford and will likely be painful. Well, I've got good news for you. You can have a perfect smile in as few as just 3 visits to Dr. Houghton at Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. Using state-of-the-art cosmetic dentistry, Dr. Houghton will work with you to design the smile you want. In as little as 4 weeks from your initial visit, you'll have perfectly straight teeth and they'll shine a vibrant white. And your new perfect smile...
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
A victory to CNN and our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, saying that the White House must immediately restore Jim Acosta's hard pass that allows him access to the White House on a daily basis.
Oh, come on.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
Everybody, thanks for coming. I just want to say something very briefly, and that is I want to thank all of my colleagues in the press who supported us this week, and I want to thank the judge for the decision he made today, and let's go back to work.
Okay, I'm going to throw up.
Who's your captain? Howie Carr.
If Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it. It's clear. It's clear.
Stacey Abrams' election is being stolen from her using what I think are insidious measures to disenfranchise certain groups of people.
I know Stacey well. She was one of my really strong surrogates in the campaign. If she'd had a fair election, she already would have won.
Is that really any different from what the Matt Gaetzes and Donald Trumps of the world are doing?
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
How does Trump get away with what looks to be coming at him perhaps in the next several days or weeks, which is indictments of his family members, indictments of people who will rat him out, like Roger Stone. He could rat him out. He's got all kinds of stuff on him going back for decades. Joyce, not everybody, as you know from your experience, has an escape route. I mean, Saddam Hussein ended up hiding in the ground. He didn't have an escape route. Not all bad guys have this plan to get out of town. And I'm thinking about Trump.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Dude, we've got something to be thankful for this Thanksgiving, man. The first pot stores are opening Tuesday, man. Just in time for like Turkey Day, dude. Of course, they're not exactly convenient to most people. They're in sort of out-of-the-way places. The store in Northampton, Massachusetts, in the western part of the state, is going to open at 8 a.m., and apparently the store in Leicester, or as Senator Warren would pronounce it, Leicester, is going to open at 10 a.m. But it's the Massachusetts marijuana stores to open Tuesday.
You want to send Grace out there to pick some up for you?
That's okay. Nah, I don't think so. 884. Guess what the number one trending story is in the paper's websites, though? It's yes, you guessed it. 844-500-4242. Time for the Chump Line.
Mr. President, Jim Acosta, CNN News. I'd like to challenge you to take my question. You have to take my question. The judge told me you have to take my question.
Yeah. Apparently today, Trump said at the White House, if he misbehaves, we'll throw him out. Good. He'll misbehave for sure.
With a media attack, he got his press pass back. Mr. Acosta must be part of the Cosa Nostra. So, Howie, watch your back.
A limerick. A Jim Acosta limerick.
That's actually a good one.
Yes. The Chump Line is brought to you today by Matthews Brothers, whose Maine-made windows are available only through Better Lumber Yards and window professionals like LaValle Middleton Building Supply, the largest independently owned building supply dealer in New Hampshire and Vermont, with 7 locations to serve your building needs. LaValle Middleton, the pros' first choice since 1962. And again, would like to wish a happy retirement to the CEO of Matthews Brothers, Scott Hawthorne. We were at his dinner last night, Grace and I, and the mailroom manager up in Maine, and we had a good time, and we wish him the best, and we wish everyone at Matthews Brothers the best, and we love having him as a sponsor.
I wonder if that Acosta judge there threw anybody out of his courtroom for continuing to speak after he told them to stop.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can be thrown out of a courtroom for things like reading a newspaper in the courtroom, or in federal courts trying to take photographs with your cell phone camera. I've been banned from a couple of courtrooms by gangsters who put me on their the witness list. And I always got around it. The judges saw it for the ploy it was, but yeah, these judges don't engage in any kind of due process before they toss you out.
Santa, if you're listening, I just want one thing for Christmas. I would like to see Donald Trump whip out a phaser and give a couple of 1,000 volts to Jim Acosta.
508 says stay off the highway next weekend. Well, the one of the state driving officials or traffic officials said yesterday, friends don't let friends drive baked. That has a ring to it, doesn't it? We're going to start a new group, Mothers Against Baked Driving.
Yeah, I heard that Abernathy wants a press pass so he too can pound on women without any recourse.
That's a good one. Did you see the Republican National Committee, or one of those groups of the GOP-sponsored organizations, has filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the LAPD to get all of the documents on Michael Avenatti's arrest?
Is it true Broward County had a box of votes for Hillary 2020 already?
I wouldn't be surprised if Brenda Snipes posts them on the Broward County elections website. You know, like she did in 2016. She was putting results up before the polls even closed.
Ms. Curley, this is the law. This is Saul Goodman calling. We have found a direct correlation between employees falling on black ice and negligent bosses who have black toes. We believe you are entitled to your boss's trust fund and Cape Cod mansion. Please give us a call.
Jackpot.
That's good. Boy, she'll really be rich when she gets my trust fund and my Cape Cod mansion.
Now she's coming over because she says she has to comment on this because she, of course, didn't cut today's Trump line, which is why the good limerics are getting through.
Yes, Grace.
I'm a very classy girl, and I just want to say that no matter what happens with this Trump line, I think Taylor's doing a phenomenal job.
Grace, are you hearing the footsteps?
What footsteps?
Do you feel like Wally Pipp? Do you even know who Wally Pipp is?
No, but it doesn't sound good.
This is nothing compared to the time when you had your daughter Charlotte in here to go do police blotter facts.
Yes, blonde versus blonde. Yeah, Wally Pipp, by the way, was the Yankees' first baseman, and he decided to take a day off, and they brought up this rookie, guy named Lou Gehrig. And
I think I've heard of
him. He played the next, 2,500 games in a row, something like that.
I think you'd have to see Taylor's legs to see if he's any competition for you guys.
What a sexist thing for you to say, sir. I denounce your misogynistic tendencies.
Hey, Howie, you see where the MAGA hat has a new meaning? Michael Avenatti gets arrested.
Another good message on the Trump line.
I know, this is shaping up to be just as good as yesterday's Trump line.
Who hates Kellyanne Conway more, her husband or her hairdresser?
Ooh, see, Grace wouldn't let that one through because that's too catty.
It's really catty, but it's a good one. It's another good one.
Howie says, you win or you lose, and then you just move on. Maybe he should tell that to Hillary Clinton.
I think everyone has told that to Hillary Clinton, including Bill Clinton, but she's not listening. That's one reason why she's never won a really contested race, heavily contested race.
Forget about Democrats stealing elections. Forget about how Ford is being overrun by illegal immigrants. I was watching the news. It's going to snow tonight.
You know, that snow turned out to be a real mess if you were in it last night. That was a lot more than they anticipated. That was a lot of places in Massachusetts up around 128, the Merrimack Valley got 9+ inches.
Can't believe you forced Grace to drive back last night.
She had a choice. She could spend the night in Maine and then drive back in the Maine mess today, or she could drive back in the New Hampshire, Massachusetts mess last night.
Excuse me, Taylor has something he would really like to say. This is his own words, his own free will. He's saying this not because I'm making him.
Number one, Grace taught me everything I know about the Trump line. Number two, this knife in my back really hurts right now.
Thanks, Wally. Or no, you're Lou. Grace is Wally.
That was your last Trump line message. Thank you for calling Howie Carr, you chump.
Officer Mark says, can I now fill out Powerball betting slips with the winning number even after somebody else has already won? Only if you live in Florida or Georgia, Officer Mark. Okay. That's it for the Chump Line today. The Chump Line is the recorded voicemail message service of the Howie Carr Show. You can call and leave a message at any hour of the day or night, including weekends. The Chump Line number is if you'd like to leave such a message, is 844-500-4242, 844-500-4242. Press 2 for the Chump Line. Leave your message. We may or may not play it at this time each weekday. The Chump Line is brought to you by Matthews Brothers, whose Maine-made windows are available only through Better Lumber Yards and window professionals like LaValle Middleton Building Supply, the largest independently owned building supply dealer in New Hampshire and Vermont, with 7 locations to serve your building needs. LaValle Middleton, the pros' first choice since 1962.
Yeah, I heard that Abernathy wants a press pass so he too can pound on women without any recourse.
That was a good one, but I think the better one was the new MAGA hat. Michael Avenatti gets arrested. All right, that's it for the Chump Line today. I'm Howie Carr.
Keep it here. The captain will be back after this.
This half hour is brought to you by a new book from a Massachusetts native, The Electrician, From Altar Boy to Attic, Growing Up Irish Catholic in 1970s blue-collar Boston. Get The Electrician now at Amazon.com. Also available at ReadTheElectrician.com. How did you sleep last night? Despite hundreds of sleep products out there, many of us still sleep terribly. Scott and Missy Tannen, the founders of Boll and Branch, have decided to do something about it. They started 5 years ago with their signature 100% pure organic cotton sheets. Now they are proud to introduce their new luxurious Boll and Branch mattress, your foundation for great sleep and better health. It's designed to keep you cool, supported, and comfortable all night long. It's made by hand right here in the USA, in Texas and Florida, from natural materials like cozy wool and pure organic cotton, with 2,000 expertly engineered coils to support you from head to toe. You can try the Boll and Branch mattress risk-free for 100 nights. They deliver and set it up for free. Plus, you get $100 off your new mattress at bollandbranch.com with promo code Howie. That's $100 off at bollandbranch.com, promo code Howie. Spelled BOLLANDBRANCH, bollandbranch.com, promo code Howie.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
William Henry Harrison commissioned bottles of hard cider in the shape of log cabins as part of his presidential campaign. When James K. Polk was 17, he had surgery to remove gallstones without any anesthesia or antiseptic. Zachary Taylor died suddenly, and while the exact cause of his death is still disputed, some historians think it originated from eating cherries in iced milk. President Franklin Pierce, a Bowdoin guy, was arrested for running over an old woman with his horse. The charges were later dropped. Andrew Johnson was completely hammered at his vice presidential inauguration in 1865. Ulysses S. Grant once got a speeding ticket on his horse. He was fined $20. Rutherford B. Hayes signed the act that allowed women to plead cases before the Supreme Court, making it legal for women to practice in the court system. And they say Rutherford never did anything.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Christina from Chestnut Grove Design Group. They service all of New England, and Christina is an interior designer, and she can help you get your home ready to put on the market. Christina, what's your philosophy on paint colors when you're getting a home ready for sale?
The most important thing with paint colors is really to just neutralize any really bright or gaudy or very taste-specific types of paint colors that you might have in your home. It's best to just kind of keep those more warm, light, inviting, and again, neutral.
What do you tell people if they say, well, this is the way my house has always been, this is my own personal style?
Well, you know, I'm very upfront. I'll let them know that it might turn off some buyers and they might not get top dollar for their home if they're not going to be willing to be flexible and change some things to try and get the best sale.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
Hi, folks. So many people have tried CBD and have not had the best results. Not because CBD doesn't work, but because the CBD companies are substandard. Well, here at Ancient Life Oil, there is no compromise in quality of product. Our product is non-GMO and all organic. And of course, there's less than 0.003 THC. No psychoactive feelings. The oils we use are blended for maximum absorption. You ask me, what does CBD oil do for the body? Unfortunately, I can't say. It's the claim thing. Think about body super maintenance. Think about restoring your house. Not an add-on, just a restoration. Think about logging on to ancientlifeoil.com. No. You need to log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. I personally wouldn't be without my Ancient Life Oil, and neither should you. Test the waters and see how you feel. ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
This is Gina in Medford, Massachusetts.
Hi, this is John from Newmarket, New Hampshire.
This is Florence Robinson from St. Albans, Maine, and this is the Howie Carr Show.
Breaking news from the Peachtree state of Georgia. Stacey Abrams says she was robbed, but Brian Kemp, that nasty honky, is going to be the next governor of Georgia. So
I believe that's an exact quote, too.
So let me go back to an old song from the 70s and rework it a little bit. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Stacey's got the blues.
So are we going to allow Grace to do police blotter facts, or is she going to have to share it with Taylor?
No, come on. Come on. We're just making sport of Grace. Grace does a great job. We're happy with Grace. Don't worry about it, Grace. You're in fine. She didn't wreck the car coming home last night. I was very first of all, I was concerned about the car I was in killing me when it was run over by a truck in the snow. And then my second thought was, what about my car, the one that Grace is driving?
You're not worried about Grace? You're worried about her car or your car?
Well, I'm worried about the driver of the car too. You talk about a bad these new electronic devices in cars. This car, I guess that the mailroom manager has, it's a leased car. It's a Mercedes that she got. I admit it's a nice car for a summer day. So, but apparently, if you're in it for 4 hours and you don't stop, there's this little, like an idiot light, only it's a noise, and it says pull over, and a picture of a cup of coffee comes up.
It's an idiot light, only it's a noise? It's a noise? It's like a beep?
It's an idiot noise is what it is. It's a beep. And every 10 seconds, then it stops. And you say, is it going to end? What am I going to do? I'm in the snow. I'm going like 20 miles an hour. I'm not going to pull off the road and stop the car and then have to come up the exit ramp, which is covered with snow too. So you just have to get used to it. Just
sound like a dying baby giraffe.
Oh.
By the way, I've got some audio of the person with all the credit card debt and student loan debt who lost the Georgia
Stacey Abrams. By the way, she went to Yale Law School, like Hillary, like Bill, like Judge Gertner, like Judge Kavanaugh, like all these really smart people. Listen to this, or supposedly smart people.
I acknowledge that former Secretary of State Brian Kemp will be certified as the victor in the 2018 gubernatorial election. But to watch an elected official who claims to represent the people in this state baldly pin his hopes for election on the suppression of the people's democratic right to vote has been truly appalling. So let's be clear. This is not a speech of concession. Because concession means to acknowledge an action is right, true, or proper. As a woman of conscience and faith, I cannot concede that. But
I can't believe that cracker is going to be the next governor.
Don't you remember when we were told that not accepting the results of elections was a threat to democracy? It was going to be like the biggest problem ever.
It was. I believe Hillary Clinton said that, didn't she? And now
all those dirty Trump voters.
Hillary Clinton said that last night that Stacey Abrams was robbed. All right. The new luxurious Boll & Branch mattress keeps you cool, supported, and comfortable all night long. Try it risk-free for 100 nights. Plus, get $100 off your new mattress at bollandbranch.com with promo code Howie. That's spelled BOLLANDBRANCH.com, promo code Howie. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Should President Trump keep Mike Pence as vice president for the 2020 campaign?
Unless he wants to select Stacey Abrams, reach across the aisle, because she's such a gracious, charming person.
91% say yes, he should keep Pence. And by the way, 781 on the text line says that his Toyota RAV4 does the same thing with the idiot beep. But there's a button on the steering wheel to turn it off. Did you or the mailroom manager try and turn it off, or did you just suffer through it for an hour?
We just kept asking ourselves, how the hell do we turn this off?
So you guys really drove for what, like an hour or 2 hours with that beep?
Yes.
That's hilarious. You didn't attempt to turn it off?
Well, you know,
look at the user's manual in the glove box.
The user's manual in the glove box. Again, in the old days, it used to be about 30 pages. Now it's longer than War and Peace. Have you looked at the new?
Yeah,
owner's
that's why
manuals?
It has an index.
Yeah, it doesn't say idiot beep. You know,
did you look for it though?
Coffee cup.
Did you look for it though?
No, I didn't look for it.
You guys didn't make any effort to turn it off. You just sat there and listened to the beep.
I just sat there and said, I wish I'd known this when Bill Papa George was on, because I would have told him to come. I would have told him to come outside during the break and turn the damn thing off.
This is like peak baby boomers not being able to understand technology.
508 says more dollars than cents for you. I resent that. You didn't undergo this terrible mental anguish that I did last evening. I'm Howie Carr.
We here at Matthews Brothers embrace change, prepare for tomorrow, and honor traditions. One tradition we honor this time of year is entertaining you with our beloved Matthews carols. This year, we're going to forego that tradition and talk about some of our other traditions. For example, providing wow customer service every single day. The tradition of building upon the legacy of yesterday, of those who came before, and improving the company just 1% day after day, week after week, year after year. And the tradition of when you've done that for, say, 33 years, 8 months, and 3 days, you hand the reins of leadership over to those you have counseled, guided, and coached, and shift your focus to things other than business. And so it is with our president, Scott Hawthorne. Today, as we at Matthews Brothers say thanks and farewell to Scott and his wife, Kelly, we take some comfort in knowing that they'll always remain in our memories. Plus, they'll be back a lot since their boys still work here. And for those of you who missed your traditional Matthews carols,
Matthews Brothers, Matthews Brothers, Matthews with one T. America's oldest window manufacturer are we.
But resist we much. We must.
They're all jitty about a shutdown. The tortoise in the race. Then co-author of Hubris. U2 lead singer Bono. Fran Drescher. Sigourney Weaver. Suspect Jahar Tsarnaev. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Is Mike Muckery yesterday. Antonin Scalia, Kim Kardashian, and the Republican candidates for Cairo and Benghazi. We rank behind Lavita. First stop, Kazakhstan to college students in Beijing. He's getting lunch at Chipotle in Iowa. Maine is appropriate. The GOP's tax day giveaway to millionaires. Why was traffic problems email sent?
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Christina from Chestnut Grove Design Group. They service all of New England, and Christina is an interior designer, and she can help you get your home ready to put on the market. Christina, if you had a limited budget, what rooms of the house would you tackle first so the seller could see the greatest return on their investment?
Buyers tend to make their decision in the first few seconds of being in a house. So it's important to make the foyer, the entrance, and just when they first step into the house, try to make that as inviting as possible if you can't do the big stuff.
How do you stay stylish but not too trendy?
Number one, declutter. Take away the clutter, let the home shine. Don't show the people your stuff. That's not what they're going to be buying. For a home buyer, they want to envision their things in their home, so they don't want to see all of your special mementos. When you're selling your house, less is more.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
Hey folks, guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
You can call him Fat Boy, just don't call him late for dinner. He's Howie Carr.
We will bring over your entire family from the third world Muslim hellhole that they live in so that they can have an all-expenses-paid, taxpayer-funded with open bar weekend at a nice hotel in Boston, get a nice sightseeing tour, maybe take them to Fenway Park for a game so they can see their savage Muslim terrorist kinsman sentenced to death. But the President of the United States of America can't be allowed to speak before Parliament because he's such a terrible barbarian, as opposed to the dictator of Red China. And I'm going to call it Red China. Since the Dems are down on Russia, we might as well go after all the communist dictatorships that are left, right? Russia isn't even a communist dictatorship; it's just authoritarian now. But let's call it Red China.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. Grace, does my car have one of those?
No, it does not. I do know what you mean, though. My mom's car has that, and it shows like a little cup of coffee telling you to pull over. But no, your car is actually very good. Drives nice and smooth. No weird sounds. That's good. The Sirius is awesome. You can listen to whatever I want.
Yes. All right. Okay.
I have so many stories today,
by the way,
Howie.
Eric Swalwell, you must mention that, though, before we go into
okay. So this guy.
This is another one of the serious Democrat candidates for president in 2020.
Oh, my God.
Congressman from California.
You know how you can tell he's serious? Because every time he gets interviewed, he goes, I like to look back on my own history as a prosecutor. I'm just going based off my own past as a prosecutor. We get it, Swalwell. We get it. You had another job before the one you currently have now. Congratulations. Anyway, this guy, Joe Riggs, was tweeting about how it would take a war for them to get people to give up their guns. And Swalwell responded with, it would be a short war, my friend. The government has nukes. Which is like, that's exactly what you want to hear a politician say.
So Swalwell...
You want to talk about Saddam Hussein.
That's a hot take.
He wants to run for president on the grounds that he's going to nuke anyone who has a lawful permit to own a firearm.
Well, apparently his presidential strategy is to just get in flame wars with conservatives on Twitter, which in his defense is better than releasing a DNA test that says you're 1,024th Indian.
I just can't wait for all the...
Or comparing ICE to the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes.
I can't wait for all the think pieces about how, like, hot him and Beto are. Remember with Obama, they'd always be like, he's so dreamy.
He's so cerebral. That was the word they used, cerebral.
They're going to be all about that with Beto and Swalwell.
Totally unfair. There's no think pieces about how sexy Donald Trump is.
All right, now
do you think cerebral Barack Obama could spell cerebral? Considering he can't spell Syracuse?
You better watch your microaggressions, bro.
All right, guys, we have a lot of stories to get through for this amazing Police Blotter Facts Friday.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action.
I'm in the mood to watch a highway patrol tonight because I'm kind of tired and beat from last night. I think I'm going to just zone out to a highway patrol. But that's the theme song for Highway Patrol and for Police Blotter Facts Friday. 8, if you want to leave an entry for next week's Police Blotter Facts Friday, just send it to grace@howiecarrshow.com, grace@howiecarrshow.com, or you can fax it to us. We still have a fax machine, 857-284-8864, 857-284-8864.
Still got the fax machine.
We sure do. We do indeed. And so anyway, the winner at this time each Friday night, we read the best entries in our opinion, and the 2 winning entries get a nice prize. What do they get this week, Grace?
They're going to get a copy of your book, Killers.
killers. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so a lot of stories to get through. Let's start with naked creep wanted for peeping into women's homes.
Naked creep. What about his due process?
A serial peeping Tom has been tormenting women in New Jersey.
Serial? Has he been convicted of multiple counts?
By stripping naked and peering into their homes. Okay, so I actually thought this was way better when I first read it. I thought it said peeing at first. So I'm a little disappointed.
You think it would be better if he was peeing in their windows?
It would be funnier.
That'd be a weird kink.
Cops are hunting for the creep who sports a black wig and a bandana over his face and has struck at least 3 abodes in the past 5 months. Allegedly. I threw in the allegedly.
The reputed creep. Police are looking for him.
McDonald's worker charged in bacon attack.
Bacon attack?
Yes. A McDonald's cook. Okay, so this is what happened. I've read the story a couple times now, so I could really get the drama. The cook, named Josefina Jimenez, kept eating the bacon. Jimenez kept eating the bacon. The manager, Tequila Cohen, asked Jimenez.
Tequila?
Tequila,
is her first name?
Tequila jumped ugly with Jimenez?
So Tequila says, Jimenez, please stop eating the bacon.
Did someone get between them named Margarita?
Jimenez says no and keeps eating it, just like in the face of Tequila. So Tequila goes to the manager above her and says, Jimenez will not stop eating this bacon.
His name was Whiskey.
So the manager goes over and...
No, his name was Jose Cuervo.
So then that's when the beef got escalated because then...
When did Senor Corona get involved?
Jimenez backed Tequila Cohen, into the corner and tried to force feed her hot, crispy bacon, which for some people would be a dream.
I was going to say, sounds like a good time. Tequila can come force feed me bacon anytime she wants.
She was still grasping the bacon and struck Cohen in the face and allegedly tossed a cup of unknown substance.
You never want to get an unknown substance tossed on you.
Especially at a fast food restaurant.
I know. 44 dead dogs found in freezer of New Jersey woman's home. A lot of New Jersey.
By the way, this is why you want to subscribe to butcherbox.com, because you never have to worry about this happening to you. And if you use promo code Howie, it comes with free bacon for the lifetime of your subscription.
I'm wondering,
and you can make it crispy.
Is this lady with all the frozen dogs in her freezer Barack Obama's concierge chef?
A New Jersey woman was arrested after investigators found 44 dogs in plastic bags inside freezers and another 130 pooches. I hate when they do that. Like, just say dogs. You make it so real when they say pooches. Living in deplorable and inhumane conditions.
What were their names, Grace?
Funny you should ask. Acorn, Alvin, Asia, Audi, Bagel, Bailu, Barclay, Barney, Beck, Bellectrix.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough. You proved you were ready. I was wondering what you were printing off there.
Hairbrained. Louisiana woman sets another woman's wig on fire after a violent fight with a shovel and a knife. This was a shovel-ready wig.
Well, I would say when you try to set someone on fire, you really don't need to use the adjective violent. It kind of...
kind of speaks for itself.
Right.
Sharita L. Griffin got...
Sharita?
Yeah.
Any relation to tequila?
No. Got into an argument with a woman outside a home near Baton Rouge. It's alleged Griffin hit the woman and the other woman allegedly stabbed Griffin with a knife. The argument escalated, I'll say, when Griffin pulled the other woman's wig off and set the wig on fire.
Do you think we're going to have any battles like this outside the marijuana dispensers starting on Tuesday?
I don't know, but I will say
Is anyone going to be mugged?
I don't think the line is going to be out the door at 8 o'clock, I think it's going to take probably until around noon for them to wake up and have the line form up.
I don't know about that. I think the line in Leicester might be all the way back to Boston.
Not by 8 o'clock, though.
Griffin pulled the other woman's wig off and then took out a cigarette lighter to set the wig on fire. I just want to say...
Cigarette lighter? Man, they're not that common anymore. She just happened to come up with the equalizer, the cigarette lighter.
I just want to say, as a reality show connoisseur, wigs are a very easy way to get someone very, very mad. I've watched a lot of shows where someone tries to pull at a wig, and that is when really the claws come out.
I think weave is the one that gets pulled out
But
in the middle of a fight.
both though, some wigs can be very expensive, and some weaves probably hurt more pulling them off. But wigs is emotionally just as traumatic, I think.
You know, on a related subject, the last time I was out in Cleveland, I saw these black things. Like they look like your Cher wig, and they're just kind of like floating along the sidewalk. And I was like, "What is that?" My wife said, "Oh, that's tumbleweave."
Oh my.
When there's a weave fight and the weave gets pulled out, it just turns into like a tumbleweed.
Man threatened roommates with axe over.
Would you rather see a weave fight or a bacon fight, Grace?
A weave fight, hands down.
For me, am I involved in it or just watching it?
No, watching.
Oh, weave for sure.
Absolutely.
Because things about to get crazy. Bacon is like.
But you've never seen a bacon fight.
This is true.
We realize that what you would prefer is a bacon fight because you'd be like trying to like, grab some of it as he's shoving it in your face.
I don't really have like a dog in the weave fight.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in bacon fights.
Man threatened roommates with axe over chilly apartment. So this kind of stuff.
Is this chili in the apartment like we were talking about earlier, you know, with turkey chili or beef with sausage in it?
This is a chilly temperatured apartment.
Cold.
A
cold apartment.
Allegedly intoxicated man in Nebraska has been arrested after threatening his roommate with an axe because he was upset over the thermostat setting. John Crane was wielding an axe, and Crane was intoxicated and just threatened his two roommates, telling the couple that their apartment was simply too chilly. Crane was upset with him over the temperature and threatened them with an axe. Here's the thing. I'm not saying I condone what this man did. Using an axe is never a good idea. All I'm saying is, as someone who has been cold before with people who do not feel the same temperature as me, I can empathize.
No, you're being a total hypocrite right now because you're always after Howie when he turns the temperature up in the studio.
There's a difference. Sometimes we have about 6 VIPs in here. A lot of times they're men, and they sit in this room, and I watch them. Do you know what it's like watching humans sweat to death, Steve?
They love Howie. They love Howie. They'll sit through the 80-degree sauna that he has in there.
They come out
just
of this
to be a little bit
box,
close to Howie Carr.
and they say to me, "This is so fun, Grace. This is so fun."
they're sweating. They need a water break.
And they kind of like take a deep breath and they go, "I'm going back in."
See, you don't know what I've been through, Grace, in my life. I used to have an apartment on the top floor of a rent-control building on Prescott Street in Cambridge, in Harvard Square, and the heat didn't get up to the top of the building. It was about like 30 degrees all the time.
You want to cry about it?
And people used to say to me,
you're really making this seem like
that Howie Carr, that bastard, he lives in a rent-controlled apartment. And I would always want to respond, yeah, but it's freezing.
Yeah, you don't know my struggles.
Yeah.
You think you know what I'm dealing with?
And you know what? I don't have a parking space either.
I
gotta park on the street.
And my trust fund doesn't kick in until I'm 25.
Oh God! Nobody knows the trouble you've known, Howie.
The Limerick guy says that the guy in the apartment, Grace, he was turned into a cold-blooded killer.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of weed, police say they confiscated 43 pot plants and 9 weapons from Windsor man after he shot himself in the foot.
Is this Windsor, Connecticut?
No.
Windsor, Ontario.
No, this is Massachusetts.
Windsor, Mass?
I think so. Yeah, North Adams.
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it's just a small Berkshire County town I'm not familiar with.
Speaking of bacon, his name is Noah Crispy. He's 47.
Crispy.
He was arraigned on a marijuana possession charge. This is interesting. So they came to his house. They entered the home in an attempt to secure Crispy's weapon after he shot himself. This is what he said. He said first that he heard...
What's his favorite kind of donut, Grace?
No, Howie, you're really going to love the story. He said first that he heard a noise behind the garage, and so he brought out his revolver.
His equalizer.
And then he accidentally fell, and he shot himself. And then he said, but it wasn't a big deal. I went back in the house with my mom and my wife, and I ate pizza. And...
That's what I always do when I shoot myself.
I was going to say, that sounds legit. I mean, if you can manage to eat pizza, you're fine.
Before driving himself to the hospital. So police arrive. They try to confirm that with the wife and the mother. And not the wife nor the mother had knowledge of the shooting, nor had they eaten pizza with him. Officers searched the property for about 2 hours, but could not find the discarded weapon. They did locate a Toyota Prius behind the garage that contained a blood-covered pair of sandals. Officers that he told shot himself in the ankle while in his car, but he was too embarrassed. Okay, so then he said he was too embarrassed to tell officers the truth. Now, here's the interesting part, okay?
Is this the truth?
They start looking in his house for weapons, and they notice that every time they walk by the basement, he gets really nervous. So they go downstairs, and he has 33 mature marijuana plants and 10 large plants, and then he immediately says they're not illegal because they're not flowering, which is not true. So they took away his weapons.
But it is in Massachusetts. I mean, they didn't arrest him for possession of pot, did they?
No, they didn't arrest him, Howie, but they confiscated all of his weapons, even though he had a license, because they were like, this guy seems a little...
Did the weapons include the marijuana plants?
I don't know.
All right. We'll be back with the winners in just a moment. I'm Howie Carr.
Don't touch that dial. Howie Carr. We'll be back after this.
National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a handmade balsam fir wreath, a symbol of America's respect. Sponsor a veteran's wreath now. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org. With all the recent news about online security breaches, it's hard not to worry about where my data goes. Making an online purchase or simply accessing your email could put your private information at risk. You're being tracked online by social media sites, marketing companies, and your mobile or internet provider. Not only can they record your browsing history, but they often sell it to other corporations who want to profit from your information. That's why I decided to take back my privacy by using ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN has easy-to-use apps that run seamlessly in the background of my computer, phone, and tablet. Turning on ExpressVPN protection only takes one click. ExpressVPN secures and anonymizes your internet browsing by encrypting your data and hiding your public IP address. Protecting yourself with ExpressVPN costs less than $7 a month. ExpressVPN is rated the #1 VPN service by TechRadar and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you ever use public Wi-Fi and want to keep hackers and spies from seeing your data, ExpressVPN is the solution. And if you don't want to hand over your online history to your internet provider or data resellers, ExpressVPN is the answer. Protect your online activity today and find out how you can get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Howie. That's expressvpn.com/Howie for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/Howie to learn more. Tonight at like 6:07, just not for long. He may think I was tough on him. You know, I tried to give him some advice about some of those hires he made. Barack Obama, the president of the United States, bowing. Nobody else seems to bow. But again, this is becoming a pattern with this guy.
He bowed just once. He bowed like 9 times and threw some nods in too. It was like he looked like that drinking bird thingy that used to go up and down and up and down.
That's good. That is a good. CNN was so sick of Lou Dobbs, they gave him an $8 million severance package to leave. $8 million. What am I doing wrong? I can't get arrested in this town. I'll settle for $4 million. I'll walk out the door for $4 million. You'll never see me again.
Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Where can you see these Guitarts? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these Guitarts home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
This is Mark in Williston, Vermont.
This is Marie in Somerville, Massachusetts.
This is Mike from South Attleboro, Mass. And this is the Howie Carr Show.
You know, there's an old saying, when it rains, it pours. And it's pouring, just like it was on the highway last night after the snow turned to rain, for Michael Avenatti. Michael Avenatti today has been, he's lost a last-ditch appeal to block the eviction of his law practice from its California offices. This is according to the LA Times. He has to move out of his Ocean View suite at a Newport Beach office building. It's in Orange County. He owed $213,000, prompting the landlord to sue for eviction. But he's an extremely successful lawyer. It says on his website he's got more than $1 billion in judgments over the years.
Oh, wow. Police Blotter Facts Friday is powered, as always, by Piantadosi Baking Company, celebrating over 100 years of baking excellence since 1916. That's Piantadosi Baking Company.
If he's really gotten close to $1 billion in judgments, how come he can't pay $213,000 in back rent?
These are the questions that we need answered. Okay, guys, as you can see behind me, there is a picture of a very interesting mugshot. A mugshot of a jailbird with, now this is not me criticizing this man's looks, but it's the New York Post, with a freakishly large neck.
It's a thick neck.
So here are some of the puns that came up after this happened. By the way, he was arrested for drug charges. These were some of the internet's puns. His neck is still at large. Dude is up to his neck in charges.
Good.
Those are the two best ones, I think.
Wait, so this guy, he's a Florida man. How is he from your neck of the woods?
What town is he? City is he from?
It does not say. It just says Florida.
When's
okay,
his
guys,
next court date?
So here are the two winners. Loser fan got blitzed. Blames DWI on Jets.
Who gave you that one? Who's the winner of that one?
Howie Carr. A Jets fan was caught driving drunk after his team's humiliating home loss to Buffalo on Sunday, and he told cops he got wasted because of their failures. I drank too much because the Jets suck, Christopher Graylock said. He's 57.
You sure this guy's name wasn't Senator Anthony Galluccio from Cambridge?
Police searched his car and found a 3/4 gone bottle of whiskey along with a partially smoked joint in the car and rolling papers.
Was he on his way to Leicester or Northampton? Which is his favorite of the new marijuana stores in Massachusetts?
And finally, Florida woman nabbed after brazen crustacean heist at Red Lobster. Kimberly Gable, 42, was drunk and causing a scene Saturday at the eatery, prompting a manager to ask her to leave. Gable proceeded to reach into a water tank containing a live lobster, grabbed a lobster, and ran out of the restaurant. She smelled of booze and was slurring her words. She said to the police since she was blacked out drunk, she did not care because she did not do anything wrong. You should note that she has a tattoo on her back of a dragon and koi fish. So she does have a
America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
She has a love for the sea.
Red Lobster. I'm Howie Carr. I'm with my friend Beth from the Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance. What's up with this Prop 80?
Howie, Proposition 80 is the 80% tax increase that the legislature voted on. Luckily, the state Supreme Court recently ruled it unconstitutional.
They voted themselves a 40% pay raise, then an unconstitutional 80% tax increase?
That's right.
What can we do about it?
Visit massfiscalscorecard.org and see if State Senator Mark Pacheco voted for it. Contact Senator Pacheco's office and demand no more taxes and no more pay raises.
Hey, business owners and marketing professionals, would you like to advertise on the Howie Carr Radio Network?
Howie's show reaches all across New England. And you know who's listening? Your next customer, client, or business lead. If you're interested in advertising on the Howie Carr Show, call John at 800-227-7300. That's 800-227-7300. You're listening to Howie, and so is your next customer. Call John, 800-227-7300 right now.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about Angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking Angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
It feels like you're relying on this tax cut of the corporations, of the wealthy, to trickle down.
Yeah, Southwest and American Airlines both announcing they're going to give $1,000 bonuses to employees following the tax overhaul.
Wage increases don't follow tax cuts like this.
So the world's largest retailer giving its U.S. employees a bonus, a wage increase, and expanded maternity and parental leave.
So you're creating a huge tax cut,
right,
and you might not get wage growth.
Right.
Capital One Financial, which just confirmed to CNBC that they will raise the minimum wage for all U.S.-based employees at Capital One to $15 per hour.
And anybody who thinks that this corporate tax cut is going to trickle down to lift wages has a staggering ignorance of how public companies function.
Wells Fargo said it would raise its minimum wage to $15 per hour.
That the day we cut the corporate tax rate, wages are going to suddenly jump up when there's absolutely no historical evidence whatsoever that this will happen.
Boeing announced $300 million in investments for corporate giving and workplace improvements.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm here with Ryan from Chestnut Grove Design Group out of Woburn, and they service all of New England. They help you get your home ready for sale. So, Ryan, in getting a home ready for sale, what is the number one item that you would tackle to increase value?
We would look at that front entryway first, and our goal would be to get that cleaned up and shrubs pruned, mulched, and that would be where we would start.
On average, how long does it take you to get a home ready for resale?
It usually takes us anywhere from 15 to 20 days to get a project put on the schedule, and then after that, once it's on the schedule, maybe a day or two to get it all cleaned up and ready to go. The way that I look at it is, you have a beautiful home, and if you had a Monet, why would you put a $10 frame around it? You never would do that. In landscaping, we have to look at it the same way.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
You've probably heard about all the great benefits of goat milk soap. But did you know some companies take shortcuts? At Old New England Soap, we make our organic goat's milk soap using 36% goat's milk. That's 17% more than most others. Our bars are larger, so they last longer, producing lots of lather packed with vitamins. And our soap is a natural moisturizer that smooths dry and damaged skin. Order online at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. oldnesoap.com.
Water-based soaps on supermarket shelves use harsh chemical acids to break down dead skin cells. And that's just not good for you. At Old New England Soap, our soaps are made without chemical ingredients, contain no alcohol or petroleum products, and use 85% organic materials and carry the USDA's organic certification. Try some today. Go to oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. oldnesoap.com.
And we will much about that be committed.
So there's no real conflict. Michael Drunick Juniak, including Lincoln himself, Daniel Day-Lewis. Behind Monica Lewinsky, the one and only Trey Songz is here. But Allison Lundergan Grimes, Gina Day Jesus. When Gina Day Jesus, Tea Party challenger Matt Bivens. People don't want to have their Social Security overall. The Republican savior, Mark Rubio's big night in evolution and Galileo. I mean, this whole thing of Galileo. America's changed. Unless IT and Skillets, President Putin doing something similar back in, it won't change this fundamental fact about the GOP. Just how absurd these attacks is.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
Although Thomas Jefferson and John Adams are recognized as founding fathers, neither of them attended the Constitutional Convention, and neither of them actually signed the document. George Washington and John Madison were the only presidents who signed the United States Constitution. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson once went to see William Shakespeare's home in 1786. They then ripped off a piece of Shakespeare's chair with a knife to take home as a memento. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson invented the swivel chair? James Madison was a little guy. He weighed under 100 pounds and was only 5'4". Little James. John Quincy Adams and Herbert Hoover both had pet alligators. Andrew Jackson once taught his parrot how to curse. It was so bad the parrot had to be removed from Jackson's funeral for swearing too much. Martin Van Buren was the first United States president to be born a citizen of the United States, but his first language was Dutch because he grew up in the Dutch part of New York called Kinderhook.
This is a Real Estate Minute, brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton at FineBostonLiving.com.
I'm with James Brock. He's a state licensed home inspector from Boston Home Inspectors. Why is it important to do a pre-inspection prior to selling a house?
It's important for the seller to have an idea of what's going on with the house prior to the home inspection so there are no surprises.
What are some of the biggest problems that you find that can be fixed easily?
Roof leaks, flashing leaks, some electrical wiring issues can be fixed quickly.
What's the biggest problem that's usually a surprise to a homeowner?
A lot of times in attics, when we go up to the attic, which is an area that a homeowner doesn't visit often, and we find mold on the back of the roof sheathing, that tends to be a surprise.
So, James Brock with Boston Home Inspectors, the best reason to have a pre-inspection is to prevent a nasty surprise, right?
Exactly.
This has been a Real Estate Minute brought to you by Elizabeth Crampton. Contact her at 781-389-4400.
Ew, yuck. They're unhealthy. Bugs. I hate bugs. Our home is clean, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. From contact, it kills bugs. Plus, Orange Guard kills hidden bugs and keeps new bugs away for weeks. The ingredients in Orange Guard are on the FDA generally regarded as safe list. So Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com and Ace Hardware.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite...
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
A victory to CNN and our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, saying that the White House must immediately restore Jim Acosta's hard pass that allows him access to the White House on a daily basis.
Oh, come on. Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
Everybody, thanks for coming. I just want to say something very briefly, and that is I want to thank all of my colleagues in the press who supported us this week, and I want to thank the judge for the decision he made today, and let's go back to work.
Okay, I'm going to throw up.
Who's your captain? Howie Carr.
If Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it. It's clear. It's clear.
Stacey Abrams' election is being stolen from her using what I think are insidious measures to disenfranchise certain groups of people.
I know Stacey well. She was one of my really strong surrogates in the campaign. If she'd had a fair election, she already would have won.
Is that really any different from what the Matt Gaetzes and Donald Trumps of the world are doing?
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
How does Trump get away with it, what looks to be coming at him perhaps in the next several days or weeks, which is indictments of his family members, indictments of people who will rat him out, like Roger Stone. He could rat him out. He's got all kinds of stuff on him going back for decades. Joyce, not everybody, as you know from your experience, has an escape route. I mean, Saddam Hussein ended up hiding in the ground. He didn't have an escape route. Not all bad guys have this plan to get out of town. And I'm thinking about Trump.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Well, the insidious measures worked, and Brian Kemp, that cracker, will be the next governor of Georgia. Stacey Abrams has conceded, but it's not a concession speech because she was robbed. All right, 844-500-4242. Well, it's that time. We've hadn't had one for a long time now. It was very busy news with Kavanaugh, the midterms, and so much more news. But it's time for a death pool.
And now we attempt to determine who won't be coming down for breakfast in the near future. It's the Howie Carr Death Pool.
And yes, we did have a mini death pool for Whitey Bulger a couple of weeks ago, a couple of Friday nights ago, but that didn't last very long because he was dead about a little over 48 hours later, killed at a prison in West Virginia. But anyway, you know how the death pool works. We ask you to call in with your nominee for the next major celebrity to shed his mortal coil. 844-500-4242. As the hour goes on, chances are, if you haven't been listening for the entire hour, you may nominate somebody who's already been picked. And if you draw a blank, don't hang up the phone because we have a quick pick list. Just ask for a wild card, and I've got the whole list right in front of me. We got plenty of names for you. So anybody you want, I'll try to pick the best name on the list for you. So anyway, 844-500-4242, and that's the way it works. We're just going to take as many calls as we can here. And before we go on, though, we were talking earlier about the guy with the giant neck who was arrested for drugs in Florida.
The thick-necked man.
The thick-necked man. Officer Mark says the cop who arrested that guy made a big collar. Get it? Get it? A big collar?
Ha, 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 ha.
All right, let's go right to the phone lines. We're going to try to move as many people as we can because haven't had a death pool for a while. Want to get a full one in. Tom, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Tom. The world is your oyster, Tom. Whoever you want.
Oh, the world is my oyster. I love being first on the list. First of all, hey, Taylor does a good job, but I'll tell you, Grace is easy on the eyes. All right, my pick, Howie, is Bob Barker.
That's a good pick. He's been sick lately, hasn't he, Tom?
Yeah, you know what, Susie? Hey, I'm up here in Scarborough, right down the road from your favorite place there.
Ken's
Ken's
place.
Seafood.
Yeah,
Ken's place. Yeah, and my wife Susie said, "Pick Bob Barker." I said, "Okay, that's what I'll tell Howie."
Well, you've got him. Age 94, best known for hosting CBS's Price is Right from 1972 to 2007, and I remember him even before then on Truth or Consequences. So you've got him, Bob Barker. Kenny, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, name out of the past. How about Henry Kissinger?
Well, that's a good one. He's up there too. He's about 94. I'm just looking at him. Let's see if I've got him on my. I
mean, he's still been meeting with President Trump. He hasn't lost all the speed on his fastball.
No,
yet.
He is. He's 94. He's a member of the Greatest Generation, a World War II vet, former Secretary of State. That's a good pick too, Kenny. Thanks for the call. Ted, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Ted.
Yeah, hi. I was going to go with Dick Van Dyke, but he's still pretty spry. I'm going to go with, instead, Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. Is he still around? I don't know about him, if he's around or not, Ted. I think he may have...
101 years old. He's alive.
101. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize to Kirk Douglas then. You've got him, Ted. Kirk Douglas at age 101.
Yeah, and there's some new stories. Michael Douglas reveals that Dad Kirk, 101, loves FaceTime.
Didn't Michael have cancer? Wasn't there a chance? It looked like at one point that Michael might precede his old man, but I think he's okay now. 844. So Kirk Douglas is taken. Let's see here. Bob, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, another 101, Olivia de Havilland.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always say, she co-starred with Errol Flynn in The Adventures of Robin Hood, and Errol Flynn has been dead for almost 60 years. Bob died in 1959. She lives in Paris, I believe. Olivia de Havilland. Thanks for the call, Bob. You're on you got another pick. Good pick. Chris, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to pick Kirk Douglas, so I will take Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Okay. He's about 70, I would say, something like that. You've got him. You're all set. 844-500-4242. We don't ask you to stay on the line anymore to give your phone number because it shows up on the call screener. Jay, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jay.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you, Jay.
And a special Thanksgiving greeting to Ray and Barbara Hebert down the Cape. I think that every Death Pool nominee so far, the age has been going up, but I can top it. Herman Wouk, the author.
How old is Herman Wouk, the author, Jay?
He is older than Kirk Douglas.
Is he 102?
I think he might be 103.
103.
103, Jay is correct.
Wow.
I couldn't get that close to the cake with all the firemen there putting up with the hoses, putting out the birthday candles. But he's up there.
All right, Jay, you've got him, Herman Wouk. I think Jay has taken him the last couple of death pools.
Jay, while we've got you, do you want to apologize to Grace for those nasty things you texted me this morning?
I just said it was an incredibly interesting and funny chump line. That's all.
Yeah, he just,
That's
not all.
Unlike other people, I didn't accuse Grace of having poor judgment and never putting my chump on and, giving her a rest. I just said, gee, what a funny, great chump line.
All right, Jay. Have a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Wayne, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Wayne. Who do you want?
I'll take Hillary Clinton.
We played the cough audio one time too many, and you decided to take Hillary Clinton. All right, Wayne. 844-500-4242. Adrian, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Adrian.
Howie, I'm going to go with Bob Dole.
Bob Dole. He's older than Bob Barker. He's the same age, 94. He's 94 years old. And I haven't seen him around lately on TV, Adrian. Have you?
I saw him on TV recently at some Republican awards session, and he didn't look too good. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, he's he had kind of a tough World War II, as you may recall. Okay, you've got.
Did anyone have an easy World War II?
No, but some people had it harder than others, and he was one of the ones that had it harder. He lost the use of his right arm. Okay, thanks, Adrian. 844-500-4242. Mike, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, Howie.
Hi.
Hey, I think RBG, please.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Didn't you see the HBO special? I mean, she does a big workout every morning, right?
It's a, quote, notoriously rigorous workout.
Yeah, she's really killing it.
Rigorous as in rigor mortis. Oh, okay. You've got Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Mike. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Show.
A commitment to community and customer service creates a great reputation, but don't take our word for it. Google Banks Autos and you'll find some of the best online reviews anywhere. You will also find the region's largest new and certified pre-owned inventory with over 2,000 vehicles in stock. Browse the options and then let the full-service internet department take care of the details before you even walk through the door. Or stop by Banks Chevrolet Buick GMC in Concord, New Hampshire and meet the friendly, knowledgeable team for yourself. Right now, current GM lessees can lease a 2018 GMC Sierra 1500 double cab 4-wheel drive Elevation Edition for only $299 per month for 36 months with zero cash down. GMC, we are professional grade. So go ahead, Google banksautos.com and see what people are saying, or talk to your neighbor with the Bank sticker on their car. That works as well. Bank Chevrolet Buick GMC in Concord, New Hampshire. Real prices, huge inventory, always in stock. banksautos.com.
And now it's time for Presidential Facts with Steve Robinson.
James Garfield was ambidextrous, and he could write Greek with his right hand while simultaneously writing Latin with his left. They don't teach that at Deerfield. Grover Cleveland allegedly date raped a woman, got her pregnant, forced her to put the child in an orphanage, and then committed her to an insane asylum. That's like some Clinton stuff. Benjamin Harrison was nicknamed Kid Gloves because he always wore goatskin gloves, allegedly to protect himself from infection. Grover Cleveland is the only president to have ever served as a hangman. He carried out multiple executions. William McKinley's wife suffered from epileptic seizures, and when she had seizures during public events, McKinley would gently place his handkerchief over her face and carry on.
Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Where can you see these Guitarts? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these Guitarts home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass. on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out! That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hi, this is Val from Longmeadow, Mass.
Hi, this is Tony and Pietra from Haverhill, Massachusetts.
This is Myrnie in Fairfax County, Virginia, and this is the Howie Carr Show.
The new luxurious Boll & Branch mattress keeps you cool, supported, and comfortable all night long. Try it risk-free for 100 nights. Plus, get $100 off your new Made in the USA mattress at bollandbranch.com with promo code Howie. That's spelled BOLLANDBRANCH.com. bollandbranch.com, promo code Howie. Steve, what's the poll question, and what are the results thus far?
Should President Trump keep Mike Pence on his ticket for vice president for the 2020 campaign?
Yes, he should.
91% say yes.
The other 9% want Stacey Abrams after that extremely conciliatory concession speech just now. 508 says, did Olivia de Havilland play in Gone with the Wind? Yes, she did. That was her. I guess that was her bigger movie than The Adventures of Robin Hood, although which that preceded Gone with the Wind by a year or so. 802, can we rank our choices on the death pool? No. We're running a legit operation here, believe it or not. Joe, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Joe.
Hi, Howie. I'd like Carol Channing, please.
Carol Channing. Yes, she's on my sheet here. How old is she? 97 or 91? I don't see it. It's kind of tight. It's close. It's right in there.
Not sure.
Somewhere. Yep. She stopped having sex like 40 years ago, something like that. I read somewhere. How old is she?
97.
97. All right. You got her, Joe.
Why'd she stop having sex?
I don't know. I just read that somewhere. So Joe says, goodbye, Dolly. Jim, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I'd like Justice John Paul Stevens, please.
John Paul Stevens. How old is he, Jim?
I think he's mid-90s.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Something like that. Yeah. He didn't like Judge Kavanaugh very much, did he?
98. High 90s.
98.
Yeah.
All right. You've got him, Jim. 8-4. Those justices last a long time, though. You know, it's not exactly like they're, being worked to death, if you know what I mean. Coco, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Coco.
I'm going to pick
Who? I get her. You broke up. Who? Who'd you pick? We lost her. Bill, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bill.
Hi, Howie. I'm going to take original New York Met Ed Kranepool.
Is he sick?
He's on the waiting list for a kidney.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd read something about him in the Agate Times.
Wait, are these kidney waiting lists a public record? Because I feel like there's a new source of inspiration for the death pool.
No. I think
he's 74.
No, I think I read it in the New York Post sports section. So
that's where I read it too, Howie. So.
That's legit, Bill. Come on, you can't stop people from reading the sports pages. You've got him, Ed Kranepool. 844-500-4242. 603 says, I know the show ends at 7, but can we keep calling in death pool candidates well after the deadline? We're in Massachusetts, not Florida, not Georgia. Okay, so it ends.
We're running a legit operation here. All right.
Yeah. Brenda Snipes has nothing to do with the Howie Carr Show death pool. Nick, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Nick.
Hi, Howie. I was trying to decide between George Bush Sr. and Larry King. Who's older?
George Bush Sr. for sure.
All right, we'll take him then.
All right. He's number one on my quick pick list. He's age 93. He's been rumored to be on his way out for a long time. The last time he was out at a football game, he went out. They wheeled him out to the 50-yard line in a wheelchair. So he's not doing all that great. You got him. Al, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Al.
How you doing, George Soros?
George Soros. Is this a wish or a do you know something, Al?
Oh, it's definitely a wish for sure.
All right, you've got him, George Soros, the billionaire, the billionaire social justice warrior. 844-500-4242. Paul, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, hey, Howie. I was going to pick Kirk Douglas, but he's already been picked. I need a quick pick.
Okay, let me look here. I'm going to give you Beverly Cleary. She's the author of more than 30 books for young adults and children. You're not familiar with her, Paul, but here's the key number: 102.
I'll take it.
All right, you've got her, Beverly Cleary. 844-500-4242. Gary, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Gary.
Howie, I got a better one. 106, John McCain's mother, Roberta McCain.
Oh, you're right. I'd forgotten about her. Yeah, she was at the funeral. She was at the funeral, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. 106 years old. You've got her, John McCain's mother. Sarah, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Sarah.
Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury? Is she still around?
I had to Google it, but she's 93.
Okay, you've got it then. We believe you. Okay, you've got it, Sarah. Yeah. By the way, if you do slip one by us, it's harder now with the internet. But if you do slip one by us and they're already dead, you don't win. You're just out. Those are the rules. Brenda Snipes and I had a meeting on what the rules were going to be on on voting dead people, and we agreed. Let's see here. Dagmar, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Dagmar.
Yes, Ron Wood from Aerosmith and Don Imus.
No, you only get one, Dagmar. One.
Okay.
Who do you want?
Ron Wood. Ron Wood from Aerosmith.
Ron Wood from Aerosmith.
71.
He didn't he have a medical emergency recently, Dagmar?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Correct.
Who was he playing? Who was he playing
Madison
with?
Square Garden.
Who was he playing with?
He was playing. That piano guy.
Billy Joel. Billy Joel.
I don't know. I see here from Rolling Stone, Ronnie Wood, all clear after lung cancer scare.
Oh man, it's an even better pick now, Dagmar. Now that we know he's got lung cancer and he's collapsing on the stage.
It says all clear.
Right, all clear on a lung cancer. Okay, sometimes you're all clear, but it's not a bad pick here in the middle rounds. 844-500-4242. Jenny, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jenny.
Carl Reiner.
Carl Reiner. He's got to be up there around 100, right?
He's about 97.
97. You've got him. He's all yours, Jenny. 844-500-4242. He hates Trump, doesn't he? Or is it his son? Well, I know his son hates Trump, Rob Reiner. Man, you know you got to be old when your son is Rob Reiner. I'm Howie Carr. Let's be honest. Hair loss is not one of life's more enjoyable experiences. It makes you self-conscious, erodes your confidence, and causes you to waste years of your life trying to hide, camouflage, and generally obsess over the condition. In short, it pretty much sucks. Until you call DiStefano Hair Restoration and they completely turn your life around with an IGT procedure. Whether you are looking to fill in your hairline or reverse years of hair loss, Dr. Chris Heiness and his team at DiStefano Hair Restoration will create a result that will be a transformative experience. The result of my IGT procedure was quite remarkable. I now have fuller, thicker hair, so I can even wear it a bit longer. With the DiStefano difference, balding and hair loss are now optional. And no matter where you are in New England, DiStefano Hair Restoration is just a short drive away. Call now and get a free IGT consultation. Plus, financing is available with payments as low as $119 a month. Just call 1-800-858-HAIR to learn more. That's 1-800-858-HAIR. Or just visit hairman.com.
This is the Howie Carr Show live from Chappaquiddick at the Party House. 25 years after Chappaquiddick 1969. On WHDH, News Talk 850.
Another bad song from 1969. 742-0850. We're going to take some calls this segment if you want to get on board. If you have any questions for John Farrar, the scuba diver who saw Mary Jo Kopechne's body underwater. The number again, 742-0850. We're going to start talking about the incident and everyone's perceptions. John, let me just get this straight. So now, as far as your belief is that while Ted Kennedy was walking past all these houses back towards the Party House where we're broadcasting from now, Mary Jo was still alive.
That is correct.
And she would have been alive probably for about an hour, you think?
I think that's most reasonable, and if an hour, if not longer, that's correct.
If not.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
The Fast Start Diet is available on Amazon or faststartdiet.com. Now's the perfect time to shed a few pounds as we head into the Christmas season. Use promo code Howie, get $10 off. You'll also get Lipo-3 Appetite Suppressant Spray, a $29 value, free with your order. The mailroom manager loves the Fast Start Diet, and so will you. FastStartDiet.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
He's New England's talk radio king. He's Howie Carr.
The only French term I like is sans culotte, without trousers. I used to describe Ted Kennedy as sans culotte because after the O'Bar incident, when he was wandering around down on the beach, with his 20th Scotch tumbler of the day in his hand, stumbling around with an off. He was just there, as the Michel Casson, Patch's Date said. He was just there, without trousers, or as we say in Paris, sans culotte.
We've seen nothing that we can work, that I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign.
President Bush, this is your brain. This is your brain on Botox, okay? That's the lesson of that one.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
This is the last evening to get the Veterans Day special on the Howie Carr Show VIP experience. It's just $75. Come watch the Howie Carr Show live with me, Grace, and Steve. Eat some Kowloon's great Chinese food. Get autographed books by me and pictures with all of us. For Veterans Day and Veterans Week only, get the Howie Carr VIP experience for just $75. This is the last night. It's going offline. But it's a great Christmas present for the Howie Carr Show fan in your family. Go to HowieCarrShow.com and click store. HowieCarrShow.com and click store. By the way, it's Ron Wood is in the Rolling Stones, and Joe Perry is the one who collapsed at the Billy Joel concert. I'm getting my wrinkly rockers mixed up. So, but Jenny took Ron Wood, who just had a lung cancer scare. So she may even got a better pick than Joe Perry. Because Joe Perry he could have just had some exhaustion, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of that going around, especially among members of Aerosmith over the years, the decades. 844-500-4242. We're going to keep doing the death pool until the top of the hour. And when the polls close on the death pool at the Howie Carr Show, they really do close. We don't have any undercounts. We don't have any overcounts. We don't have any hang-and chads. We don't have any mail-in ballots. We don't have any provisional ballots.
We also don't do recounts.
Yeah, when it's over, it's over. Luigi, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Luigi.
Yeah, Bob Eubanks used to have a show called The Newlywed Game.
Okay, is he still? I know the name. I've forgotten the show he was on. Is he still? He's still around? How old is he?
Sure, well, I don't know. He's got to be in his late 80s. Okay. He had the Newlywed Game show. Do you remember that show?
I do. I never watched it. I know the title, though. He's only 80, though, Luigi. You see, time doesn't pass as quickly as you think it does when you're dealing with Bob Eubanks. But you got him. Billy, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Billy.
I was going to say Keith Richards, speaking of wrinkly rockers.
That's not a bad one. You know, I mean, the thing is, though, if he was going to die, you know, before the age of 120, you'd have thought he would have died 40 years ago. But if you want him, I'd say he's a good pick.
You know, the funny thing is, there's a meme that was going around on the internet. It was a picture of Keith Richards' daughters, and it said, "These are Keith Richards' daughters. They're worth together $50 million, and when they die, Keith Richards will inherit it all."
That's pretty good. Keith Richards, you don't get a better guitarist than Keith Richards. You got him, Billy. Keith Richards, lead guitarist for the Rolling Stones. Eric, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with somebody I've never heard on the Death Pool before, so I'm going with George Foreman.
George Foreman? Will his grill live on after him, Eric?
Only 69.
What's that?
Will his grill live on afterwards? His, the grill that he sells on TV or used to? Doesn't he have like four sons?
That I've gone through about 3 or 4 of those grills. I doubt it.
He's got like 4 sons named George Foreman, right? He likes to keep naming the sons the same name. I don't get it. All right, you've got George Foreman, only 69, but again, I mean,
how many TBIs has he had?
Well, exactly. Muhammad Ali didn't live to be that old, did he? Neither did, for that matter, did Joe DiNucci, the state auditor of Massachusetts, who was a prize fighter and had the same problem, sadly. Paul, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Paul.
Howie, I'll take Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. What is she up to? I'm looking at my list here. I don't see her on the list. Where is she? How old is she? Do you know?
I don't know. I saw her on a commercial last night, and I was like, I didn't even think she was still alive. So
wow. Well,
90 years old.
When you see her on a commercial, though, that's usually a bad sign for the death pool. But on the other hand, when you say I didn't know this woman was still alive, that on the other hand is a good sign. Okay, Paul, you've got Dr. Ruth. Rosemary, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Rosemary.
Hey, Howie, how are you?
Hi, good.
Good. I'm so excited to be the first time participated in my death pool, and I'm going to go with Prince Philip.
Prince Philip. Now, that's a good one. That's a good one. He is, how old? 96 years old. The consort of the Queen Elizabeth. You've got him. Congratulations, Rosemary. Got good value in a mid to late round pick. Daniel, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yes, Howie. Happy Thanksgiving. I want to pick Larry Storch.
Larry Storch from F Troop. He is age 95. And he also was the voice of Mr. Whoopi on Tennessee Tuxedo, the cartoon show. That's good.
I never knew that.
Yeah, no, I didn't know it either till I just read it on my quick pick list here. And what Indian tribe did they deal with on F Troop, Daniel?
The Hakawi.
Hakawi, not fighters. We lovers. Famous line. Thanks for the call, Daniel. Ryan, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hi, Howie.
Hi.
I'm going to go with my previous pick. I'm going with Sidney Poitier.
How old is he?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah. I'll bet he's in his 80s. I'm guessing he's in his 80s, in the heat of the night. And guess who's coming to dinner? All those 60s type movies. All right, thanks. You've got Sidney Poitier. Skippy, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Skippy.
Hey, Howie, listen, you gave me a gift there. I'm going to go with Joe Perry because over the last several months, he's been in and out of the hospital a lot. He's in and out like a fiddler's elbow. I'm going to go with Joe Perry.
Okay. You're picking up Joe Perry on the rebound. Okay, you've got him. Joe Perry from Aerosmith. He fell over, tumbled to the ground onto the stage at the Billy Joel concert at Madison Square Garden the other night. Jeff, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jeff.
How about Lyndon LaRouche?
Lyndon LaRouche, boy, that's a good pick. He's 95 years old, the perennial presidential candidate. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's he did some time in prison. He was in Rochester, Minnesota. You know who he served with in the prison in Rochester? He was in with Junior Patriarcha, Rubber Lips. And he was also in with Jim Baker, the Reverend Jim Baker of the Praise the Lord Club.
So my question for the commissioner of the death pool is, does time in prison make you a better pick or a worse pick? Because on the one hand, I mean, what are you doing? You're eating 3 squares, you're relatively clean living as opposed to, the Keith Richards lifestyle. Is it good for you or bad for you?
Well, that depends. As Jerry Angiulo used to say, it depends on whether you do hard time or easy time. And in the case of Lyndon LaRouche, I think he did pretty easy time because they listened to him. Junior Patriarcha once wrote a friend of mine a Christmas card, and he said, "Tell Howie I don't have to listen to talk radio anymore because all I have to do now is listen to Lyndon LaRouche and Jim Baker." That's how I know that those guys were in the I think it was Rochester, Minnesota, with Lyndon LaRouche, who was I think he used to call it wasn't his pen name Len Marcus. He's the one who said that the Queen Elizabeth was running drugs, and he had these it was like a cult that he was running, and all the people in the cult looked and talked like Woody Allen, believe it or not. It was really weird. This was back in the 70s, but his cult went on and on into the 90s.
It's still going around in D.C. In like 2012 when I was there were people passing out LaRouche flyers at the subways.
Yeah, it's weird. But he's not running for president anymore. You know, Hillary Clinton, when she's 95, if she makes it out, she will be running for president, unlike Lyndon LaRouche. Tom, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Tom.
Hi. I'm going to continue the theme with the tired rock musicians. I'm picking Ginger Baker.
Ginger Baker from Cream. I hadn't heard that name in 30 years, at least.
Well, he's about 80, I guess.
79.
He's had health problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had some health problems in the last 5 or 6 years, and he wasn't supposed to make it past the 60s, according to his peers.
The decade of the 60s or his chronological age?
Yeah, 1969. He was.
Okay, you've got Ginger Baker from Cream. Mark, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Mark.
All right, Howie. I want to go with Doris Day.
Oh, that's a good pick. You know, she goes much earlier than this. She's 94 years old, and as I always say, she's the last person that they play on the 40s channel on the Magic Radio, satellite radio, who's still alive. I think. Jimmy Dorsey, Tommy Dorsey, they've been gone a long time. Stan Kenton, et cetera, Glenn Miller. Okay, you've got her. Mark, another Mark. You're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Howie.
Hi.
I picked Doris Day, but she's already shot. Her birthday's in April. She'll be 95, so I'll have to take a quick pick.
Okay, let me look here. What am I going to give you? I'm going to give you Hugh Downs, Mark. Hugh Downs is
nice pick. Thanks, Howie.
Thanks. My pleasure.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Same to you.
You're so generous with those quick picks, Howie.
I try to go with the best quick pick on the board. You know, maybe they have a guy named Richard Arvin Overton he's 111, but I never heard of him, so I went with Hugh Downs. He's the world's oldest veteran, 111 years old.
Oh man, poor guy's wife died last year.
Overton?
Oh, Hugh Downs.
Oh, Hugh Downs. Okay, I was going to say, how old is Overton's wife? 105? 110? Let's see here. Billy, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Billy.
Hi, Howie.
Hi.
I'll take a quick pick, please.
Okay. I'm going to give you Richard Averin Overton then.
Oh, what a good pick. You're so generous with those quick picks, Howie.
He's 111, Billy. Come on. You got the oldest
I
guy.
never heard of him before.
Well, you've heard it. He's on the list. He's the verified world's oldest living war veteran. I'm guessing it's got to be World War II. There's nobody left from World War I, so it's World War II. So you've got him, Billy. Keep an eye on that. When you see oldest World War II vet, call up. You've won. Okay. Scott, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Scott.
Howie, how you doing?
Good.
I am going with Sylvester Stallone.
Really? Okay. How old is he?
I don't know. I think all that Botox might be taking a toll on him.
I met his brother Frank Stallone at Mar-a-Lago about a year and a half.
He's 72.
Ago. Yeah, but I don't know. That's good. Well, whatever. We're into the late rounds. You just gotta go with your gut at this stage. We're into like the equivalent of the 7th round, I think. All right, Scott, you've got Sly Stallone. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
They call him the Trash Man, but we'll call him Captain. Howie Carr.
National Wreaths Across America Day is Saturday, December 15th. A $15 donation to Wreaths Across America sponsors a handmade balsam fir wreath, a symbol of America's respect. Sponsor a veteran's wreath now. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org.
We here at Matthews Brothers prepare for tomorrow, honor traditions, and embrace change. Sometimes change is subtle, like that first time you break with tradition and forego singing Matthews carols. Other times, change means fundamentally transforming your company, taking it from 100% wood to 100% vinyl, taking it from production-driven and cost-focused to sales-driven and customer-focused. Over our 164-year history, Matthews Brothers has had to contend with civil wars, world wars, recessions, and depressions. But in our history, the past 3 decades have been the most volatile, and it is through that turbulence that Scott Hawthorne navigated, transforming us from a quiet, innovative local supplier to a confident, pioneering force to be reckoned with. And so does Scott, who after 33 years, 8 months, and 3 days believes his work here is done. We say thank you for having the vision to see the transformations we needed to make, the courage to make the vision a reality, and the wisdom to keep in at least one Matthews carol.
Matthews Brothers, Matthews Brothers, Matthews with one T. America's oldest window manufacturer are we.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
In your pre-law enforcement career as a drug dealer, Trooper, what was your profit margin on that 100-plus pounds of standard-grade weed that you personally sold?
I was making at least $200 a pound.
But weren't you making a lot more selling the Primo stuff, high bud, the so-called hydroponic cannabis?
A lot more, 600 or 700.
As a drug dealer, you yourself were doing a lot of drugs, right? In addition to smoking marijuana, how often?
Basically every day. I use Xanax, Wellbutrin, possibly Vicodin. The Xanax I would take for sleep, Wellbutrin I would take for depression.
What about when the G-men ask you about the dates of certain crimes that you committed?
See, I'm afraid to actually state dates because I don't want to get perjurized for something I don't recall correctly.
Do you collect one-of-a-kind artistic pieces? If so, you'll love Guitarts, MDU's public art project showcasing guitars beautified by local and global artists. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Where can you see these guitars? Throughout the town of Norwood, Mass, now through the second week of November. But it gets better. We invite you to participate in our auction. Bid and take one of these guitars home with you. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. And come to our live auction at Ferrari of New England in Norwood, Mass on Thursday, November 15th. Doors open at 7 p.m. All Guitarts proceeds will support local music education programs. Place your bid now at musicdrivesus.org. Become a part of the Guitarts movement to keep music in our schools.
Are you looking for a pre-owned car? Well, before you go to the dealership where you'll be pounced on by pushy salespeople, give the Car Guys a try. I'm Bill Papageorge, and my job is to make finding the perfect used car as easy as possible. That means I do all of the tough legwork for you. Once I figure out what you want out of a car, I go find it. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know what to look out for. I won't bring you a car unless I know it will meet or exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600.
Have you seen the Skillings & Sons fleet of trucks on the road? This is Howie Carr. Are you ready for better water pressure and water quality? Or is it time to put your irrigation system on your own well? Skillings & Sons has the fleet of trucks and expert technicians that get the job done right the first time. For over 40 years, Skillings & Sons have been the trusted water professionals. Learn more about water well drilling, water pressure, and water treatment services online at skillingsandsons.com. That's skillingsandsons.com.
This is Alex from East Bridgewater, Mass.
This is Ann in Saco, Maine.
This is John Zuko from Hanson, Mass. And this is the Howie Carr Show.
All right, one more segment with the death pool, and when the polls close on the death pool, they really do close. This ain't Broward County. This ain't Palm Beach County. This ain't DeKalb County. This ain't Cobb County. This is Norfolk County, actually. 844-500-4242. Liz, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Liz.
Hey, Howie. I was going to go with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but someone already took that, so I'm going to go with a quick pick.
Okay, I'm going to give you I.M. Pei, the architect.
Okay.
He's 100 years old.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I've read it a million times. Yeah. You happy with that one,
Sounds
Liz?
good.
Okay, good. Have a good weekend. 844-500-4242. Bob, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, two things. First of all, I hope the guy that picked Ruth Bader Ginsburg wins. But if he doesn't, the Titans beat the Patriots last week, so why not take Elizabeth Warren? On any given Sunday. On any given Sunday, it can happen.
All right, Bob. You've got the fake Indian. 844-500-4242. Brad, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Harrison Ford. I think he crashed his plane one too many times.
Yeah, how many times has he crashed that plane?
At least 3 or 4.
At least 3 planes that I know of from reading the news.
Yeah. Yeah, Ted Kennedy survived a plane crash, though, and he got out of a car that was sinking to the bottom of the tidal pond. So yeah, but you're right. You're right. Sooner or later, you run out of chances. Okay, you've got him, Harrison Ford. 844-500-4242. That reminds me of that old saying: "Don't worry about the bullet that's got your name on it. Worry about the bullet that says, 'To whom it may concern.'" So it was kind of profound, I thought. Bob, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Howie, I can't believe she's still available. Betty White?
She is still available, as a matter of fact. Assuming she's still coming down for breakfast. Is she?
I hope
96 years
I'm
young.
Wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I'll take her.
You got her. Bob.
She's outlived 3 husbands.
Wow. I remember Alan Ludden. He's been dead for about 50 years, I would say. I don't know who else she was married to. Terry, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Terry.
Hey, I need a quick pick. I just started listening.
Okay, I'm going to give you Jimmy Carter.
Ooh, now
Awesome,
that is a
awesome.
good pick. Very late round here, getting the Jimmy Carter. Terry, you should be thankful
You
for
might
that.
recognize it. Healthy in 52.
All right, you've got him. Bill, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Howie, how about Doris Day?
Taken.
Oh, how about Mel Brooks?
Not taken. You've got him. That's a good
All
one.
right.
That's an excellent pick. He's a World War II guy. Okay, you got Mel Brooks. Dave, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Dave.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, is Bart Starr still alive?
Excuse me? Who?
Bart Starr, former Packers quarterback.
Oh, Bart Starr. No, I don't think he is, but let's check there, Steve.
No, he's 84.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, he's in bad health, so I'm gonna take a fly with Bart.
Okay, I was getting him confused with another guy in that backfield, Jim Taylor. He's not coming down for breakfast the last month or two. Okay, you've got him, Bart Starr. You got the quarterback on the first and second Super Bowl winners. Adam, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey there, Howie. How are you?
Good.
I would love to pick Artie Lang.
R.D. Lang? Okay. You
Artie Lang.
Okay. How old? He's not that old, is he?
He's 51.
No, but he has some problems.
This is true.
Yeah. That's a nice euphemism, Adam. He's got some problems. Okay, you've got him, Artie Lang.
A story from 1 week ago, more legal drama. Artie Lang facing prison time for breaking probation.
Ugh.
6 days ago, Artie Lang tests positive twice for cocaine, opioids, and oxycodone.
Ooh.
It's a pretty good pick.
Very good value in the late rounds, Adam. Doug, you're next. Quickly.
Yeah, you've exhausted my list. I'm going to go with a quick pick.
Jerry Lee Lewis. You've got him. Hold on. Lisa, you're next. Go ahead, Lisa. Who do you want?
I am going with Ed Asner.
Ed Asner. Excellent choice. Mary, one last pick. Mary, go ahead.
Helen Reddy.
Helen Reddy. You got her. Have a good weekend. I'm Howie Carr.
Do you have excess fat anywhere on your body that you've always wanted to get rid of but never done anything about it? Well, maybe the time is now. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave David from Medical Face and Body Aesthetics, and I'm one of the pioneers of the modern-day Vaser lipo. Now, having treated patients for over 37 years and having performed Vaser literally thousands of times,